This episode is rated M for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of the PFC Entertainment Network or any of the affiliates that make this show possible.
This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.
From the gridiron to the ball diamonds, from the hardwood to the ice rinks, from the fairways to the octagon and everywhere in between. If it makes headlines, it's fair game on the Sports Reel podcast on the PFC Entertainment Network. And we welcome you to a special live stream edition of the Sports Reel podcast here on the PFC Entertainment Network. Along with Tim Sheridan, I'm Jason Klaus. We are back in Tim's home studio and we are getting ready for this big playoff game between the Detroit Lions and the Washington Commanders. We're going to be spending the duration of this game with you, so we appreciate you tuning in. We're a little bit later than we wanted to be. Technical issues, I guess you could say. Riverside was giving us a real fit for some reason. I think it's because of our growing popularity that we got going on.
Maybe.
However, we're here, we're live, we're happy that you are with us, and we're anticipating a pretty good football game here. But before we focus a lot here on the Lions and the Commanders, I know my broadcast partner sitting right next to me is one happy man right now with the Kansas City Chiefs advancing to the AFC Championship game with a big win over the Houston Texans. You got to be feeling pretty good, right?
Oh, I'm excited as hell right now. That was a good game. And, you know, I've already been on Facebook and I see what all these fucking haters are saying. You know, it's the refs won again. You know, there were some questionable calls in that game, but Houston still did not do enough, regardless of those calls, to beat the Chiefs. So all I have to say to all these haters is shut the fuck up, because the Chiefs are going to the AFC Championship again for the 7th straight year.
7 years in a row.
7 years in a row.
Is that history? Is that historic?
No, you know, honestly, I don't think so. I think they're still behind the Patriots in that regard. But it's another good feeling. Now, they really need to step up their game, because if they play like that against either the Bills or Baltimore, they're going to have a little bit of trouble. But Kelsey had another great game, another standout game. He 117 yards today, 1 touchdown. Great game. He's definitely picked it up for the end of the year. So I'm excited. AFC. Now we just need one more win tonight. This is what I've been waiting for. Is for this last. I need both my teams through today. Like I've been waiting for this thing. In honor of my Chiefs, you want to do a shot of Fireball with me?
Oh Lord, sure.
Let's do it. I don't have to work tomorrow, so
I don't either. We're in the middle of a 3-day week.
Cheers, so cheers to the fucking Lions tonight.
Yes, sir.
Spicy.
That really is. I was going to say the same thing. A good way to kick off, and we have the game on in front of us here, so we're going to be spending. Obviously, our vision is going to be spent a lot on the screen, but right now, before we get into, I don't really give a about looking at Tom Brady right now. But let's look ahead to tomorrow's games. 2 big games on the docket. Rams at the Philadelphia Eagles. Weather is going to become an issue, I feel like, in this. A lot of headlines around Matthew Stafford's less than stellar record in cold weather. And while I don't have the forecast pulled up in front of me, I guess I probably should have. The weather is not going to be favorable for Mr. Stafford, and which is kind of gives another edge to the Eagles. How are you looking at this game shaping up?
Of course, anytime you take a California team that has to go play in cold weather, it's looking like I just pulled it up. 35 degrees, probably at game time tomorrow, with a 99% chance of snow. So it's a snow game.
Okay.
That might give a little bit of an edge to Philly. They have a strong run game, but I'm still saying I think the Rams run away with this one.
Run
Not run
away.
away, but I shouldn't say run away. I think it's going to be a heavy run game either way on both sides. Obviously, Philly's got that edge, but Kyron Williams has looked great this year. He's had a standout year with them, and I think Stafford can still create enough play action to get some of those midfield passes off, and I think they're going to do all right. I'm still rooting Rams in this one all the way. But it's definitely going to be interesting, especially snow game. It's not going to end up being a high scoring game like everybody thought it was going to be to begin with. So we'll have to see how it plays. It should be an entertaining one.
Should be. And then we look at the AFC side of things, and this one, has just as many opportunities to go one way or the other here. The Buffalo Bills are going to be hosting Baltimore. The Buffalo Bills will be hosting the Baltimore Ravens. Um, this is one of those low key games. I feel like you really could go either way. Although I did go on record a couple of weeks ago, much to the chagrin of Mr. Sheridan, and I went on to say that the Bills were going to be representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. Uh, however, um, I I feel like this is a game they have to win. I think all the pieces are in place for a Kansas City Buffalo AFC Championship game. I would personally I would look a Ravens win as an upset, the upset of the weekend. Well, I guess not. I guess if Washington was somehow able to pull out a win here in Detroit, that would be the biggest upset. I should not overlook this game and just assume that Honolulu Blue is going to be represented next weekend. However, when you look at Bills Ravens, this can be a tough game to call. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, I mean this game could go either way, to be honest with you, and that's what everybody's saying. Who knows who the hell's going to win this game? I'm picking the Bills. I think everybody in my house has been picking the Bills. Everybody I'm talking to has been picking the Ravens. Honestly, it could go either way. These teams are so. You got the two MVP candidates. And this might decide the MVP. So whoever wins this game could possibly edge out the other one in the MVP. Obviously, a lot of people are thinking that Lamar is going to win his third in a row. I think Josh Allen should get it. Lamar is. Let's see how he does in the deep into the playoffs here. He tends to choke in the playoffs. Then again, I can't say much on Josh Allen's, you know, and because he has an issue with getting past the Chiefs. You know, the Chiefs are kind of his kryptonite in the postseason. But these two teams are so evenly matched. This is going to be a battle. I think it's going to be a close game, probably a 3-point game. It's going to come down to last minute field goal or something crazy. It's we were all saying last week might have been the Minnesota Lions game was like the biggest game in a long time.
Yeah.
This really has really big game feels to it because you have two top teams in the AFC that are going to be battling out for a chance to go against Mahomes. It's kind of sad to see these two have to go at it, and one's going to have to go home for the year because both these teams have done so well this year. But at the same time, as a Chiefs fan, I'm excited about the fact that Mahomes doesn't have to go through both of them again
Right.
to get there. Like that's a big that's huge as a Chiefs fan. But both these teams deserve to be here, and one of them's going to walk away and go to that AFC Championship game to try to get past Mahomes to get to the Super Bowl.
It's going to be one. The one thing about the AFC, especially when you get to this part of the season, this part of the playoffs, you really start to see the elite. And it's always everybody can bitch. Well, it's the same teams over and over and over again. I don't really feel like we've really seen I mean, Kansas City is the closest thing that we've seen to any sort of dynasty in quite some time,
Yeah.
especially in the NFL. But you're always going to see the powerhouse teams rise to the occasion, and every once in a while you get that dark horse that just kind of slips in under the radar, and the next thing you know, they're in the Super Bowl. Baltimore really wants to be that team here, and I feel like, although I haven't looked at any of the schematics or anything like that, I feel like Buffalo is the favorite team if you were to ask the average NFL fan. There's just so much hype on Josh Allen. There's this, Baltimore has become the forgotten powerhouse team in my estimation. Uh, while we switch our attention now and they're getting ready for kickoff, we're going to kind of call this thing as if, you were listening to something of a broadcast slash podcast. I want to make mention, my friend Brian Clark chimed in here with cheers. He was with us when we did our shot of
Yeah.
Fireball, apparently.
Oh, we'll have another one of those here in a little bit.
So
So
can't say enough about this guy. One of my long time friends. We grew up together. We went to high school together. Just a fantastic dude. Needs to be more Brian Clarks in the world for sure. People, friends who just have genuine good hearts, good souls. Like that's who this dude is.
yeah.
So I want to make mention that he was on here. The Detroit Lions are going to be wearing their traditional road blue uniforms, and I haven't seen what Washington's wearing, but I can assume it's going to be their road whites with the maroon pants, maroon helmets.
That would be my guess at this point.
Yeah. Do you think? Sidebar, and if this is your first time tuning in to one of our live stream, game watch-alongs, this is what happens. We've got a lot of sidebars here. We have a lot of time to fill here, and we're not just going to call the game play for play. But if Detroit was to advance here today and they were to host the NFC Championship game, do they wear their black jerseys, their black uniforms?
I don't know. I'm surprised they're not wearing them today, to be honest. They might break them out for an NFC Championship game. They definitely have a different attitude when they wear them. It might
Yeah.
be a good time to break them out. Um, but they got to fit these blues in sometime because they wore the blacks the last, few home games in a row. So break out this blue. All these jerseys this year are so sharp. I
Yeah.
do have to say that. I love the redesigns. The blacks are my favorite. But even the blues look good. The whites look good. I'm so jealous. Chase has now a black and a white one. He's only missing the blue, and it's like I'm still rocking the old Hutchinson jersey. I need to get on this new wave. Even Amy has one of the new the black. She's got Jameer Gibbs, the new black jersey, and it's like, man, I really want a black jersey. They are so sharp. I got to get one.
So I have a replica black jersey from the original
Oh, do you?
black jersey. Yeah, I'm actually going to. I'm going to be rocking that next week.
Oh, okay.
I feel like if things work out, because regardless, and I do want to make mention. Actually, I'll wait till this drive here. Um, I pay attention to things, the stupid shit like that, the uniforms, and what, why are they wearing these ones on this day? How does the field look differently? I pay attention to the little nuances that separate it from your traditional Sunday afternoon game. The Detroit Lions are kind of relatively still. Oh
Ooh,
man,
he just got ate up in the backfield.
yeah, he did. Fowler comes in and takes him right down. That was ugly.
They're trying to get Montgomery started out here. I mean, we finally got Monty back, so let's see how much work they put him in. You know, do you go with the route of giving him a lot of snaps today, or do you kind of, feed in Gibbs a lot more? Gibbs have been holding out really well. Do you want to get him warmed up if you move on and try to give him those snaps? I mean, that's first. Oh,
Oh
compassion.
man.
That's quick 3 and out.
All right.
This is gonna be a game. You can see it
The-
already.
Yep. Washington made a stand here. They are not going to be pushed around. They are not going to be intimidated at this point. I think this was the feeling out process here, Tim, in terms of what does this defensive line look like for the Commanders. So it's gonna. This is not anybody who thought that this was just going to be a cakewalk, much like a reversed rematch from the 92 NFC Championship game when these two teams met in the playoffs. That was a drubbing.
Yeah.
So people were assuming that that's what we were going to have here. I have maintained Washington Commanders is a dangerous team. They came into the postseason under the fucking radar.
Yeah.
Nobody paid attention to them until it was time to pay attention to them. They're here for a reason, and Jaden Daniels has been remarkable and exactly what this team needs. Man, the confidence rolling in here right now. I mean, as this game is going to pan out, if we see the Detroit Lions as they've been, they're going to suck that out of them eventually. But right now, their whole demeanor is very confident.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do a lot of work here because the Lions are gonna kick the shit out of them. Needless to say, like not score wise, but they play so aggressive. You know what I mean? Like these guys are gonna be feeling this after the end of the game. This defense plays so fucking aggressive that they are gonna get the living shit kicked out of them during this game. Like you'll watch some of these hits, like they're gonna eat them up. They're gonna let some stuff happen. I mean, right there, that doesn't look like much, but they just pancaked that dude and they're gonna feel that. And then finally, I mean, unfortunately, Robertson's down. Hopefully, no, it looks like he's moving around.
He's
He'll be
moving
all right.
around, but he ain't happy about it. When at the end of that play, I'm like, oh god damn it, he's down.
Well,
'Cause
they
he
just
laid
pancaked
there.
that guy,
Yeah,
and we
they
need
did.
him in this game. To be honest, like he was a standout in last week's game. Like he completely, or 2 weeks ago, I should say, he completely shut down Justin Jefferson. But at the same time, we got to think it's going to take a minute for these guys to get moving. They haven't played in 2 weeks.
For real.
You know, like it's going to take a second to get warmed up and get going. But
So I was gonna make mention of that, and I'm sorry for those who were anticipating that we were going to be on at 7:30 as we had advertised. I swear we tried to get on here as soon as we could. Um, the return of Montgomery is something that we would have spent some time. How is that going to improve the game plan or the plan overall? How are they going to utilize him? Are they going to, bring him right out of the gate and let him be him, or do they ease into it? I wonder what the best course of action is going to be here, because this is not just some minor injury he's recovering from.
no, I mean he was like partially torn MCL, I think is what he was
Yeah.
dealing with. So it's probably still partially torn. I mean, obviously they haven't repaired it, but with a little bit of physical therapy, and I'm sure he's wearing some type of brace on it today. But it looked like they were just running him out there and letting him go full bore in those first 2 snaps. So let's see how much more they kind of feed him in today. I kind of say let's run out there a lot with Gibbs. Gibbs has been holding it down since he's been gone. So kind of let him eat. You know, he's been doing a damn good job. Like let's not take that out of his hands.
And while the game is in a commercial break, let me go ahead and make the first of many mentions that we're going to talk about during the course of the day, because next week Tim and I are going to be back on the road. We are returning to lightning rounds in Lapeer, Michigan, as we are going to live stream during the NFC Championship game. I looked it up, Tim, and apparently at this point, the NFC Championship game is scheduled to start at 3 p.m. next Sunday. So we will be live on the air beginning at 2:30 to do a preview of the NFC Championship game. We're hoping we're going to know who one of the representatives are going to be.
Yeah.
But regardless, um, the NFC Championship game is scheduled to start at 3 p.m. We will be live on the air right here on the PFC network beginning at 2:30. We will make damn good sure we are live on the air on time. And it's going to be a good time. If you weren't on at the last one, you really missed out. Come on out and be a part of this thing. You can come out, meet Tim and I. We have open microphones available. You can be a part of the conversation and be on the show. Or just come hang out and watch an awesome championship Sunday in the NFL, and the NFC Championship game is going to kick it off, which will be followed by the AFC Championship game. I believe CBS has the broadcast rights to that. Fox is going to be covering the NFC title game. So it's going to be very interesting to see. We're in the Elite Eight. We're going to narrow it down to the Final Four.
Oh shit! Sorry, cut you off there. I'm still into the damn game. Right
No, I
now.
understand. Listen,
You gotta get this stuff out, but they gotta tighten that up a little bit.
again, there's been a lot. It's kind of why I brought my iPad, because at halftime I'm going to open this up. I'm going to go on to social media. I'm going to see what people are saying, and I'm gonna tag them on some shit, because this. How many games have we seen start like this, and then once Detroit gets a feel for it? And I'm not trying to make excuses, because we're Lions fans. We're just calling it the way that we fucking seen it all season long.
Yeah,
They get a feel for a team. They don't see the Washington Commanders all that often. You know what I'm saying? So this, especially Jaden Daniels. So, to be in this position, they gotta get a feel for what's happening. Let the coaches do their thing, and then you're going to start seeing Detroit play Detroit football. That's just the way it's been at this point. But the other thing I was going to ask you, Tim, is they've had 2 weeks off. Is that going to be a factor? Right now, you can make an argument. Oh, they got to kind of oil a couple of the joints right now. But once they get rolling, they're kind of like Greg the Hammer Valentine in some regards. Takes them a few minutes to get the ball rolling, but man, once they get rolling, it's hard to stop a moving locomotive.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
There's the
that
flag.
one's
Yeah,
going down.
free play. They got him. I mean, it's still gonna be 3rd and 4, unless they call it. I don't know if it was false start. Perfect.
No shit.
That was for us. Woo.
I thought sure.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be offsides too.
Offsides, yeah.
So that's gonna be 3rd and 14. Perfect play. Okay. So like you were saying, we don't see him very often. This is the first time we've seen Jaden Daniels against Detroit.
Right.
So it's gonna take him a second to get in the mood, and also at the same time, like you said, we're used to seeing this. Like now, I remember back in the day, like once the Lions went down, you were like, oh shit, this is over. You know what I mean? Like now you're like, oh, these guys can come back and win any game.
Right.
Anytime they get the ball in their hands, like they're confident enough that they feel like they're going to score every time they get the ball in the hands. Like obviously on the first drive they didn't, but they'll start changing some stuff around. They try to get the run game started early. Didn't work out yet, but as soon as they get that play action going and get those balls flying through the air, it's going to open up the run game, and then the offense is on. And then they don't know what the hell to do to stop us. It's kind of the same story every game. It takes a second to get the shit going. You kind of got to give them a bunch of looks, and then it gets them off guard, and then you really get that offense rolling. I hate this shit. Like, why are they doing side by side? There's a fucking active play going on right now. That wasn't a first down there, buddy. You tried to dive for it, didn't work. Unless they're going to give it to them. They called it short. I mean, that was a hell of a play by Washington. They're rolling right now. They're a yard short. So it'll be 4th and 1. We need a big stop here. This would be huge for the Lions to stop them right here. They're going to try to tush push it. Oh my God, we stopped them.
They sure
Hell yeah.
did.
Big play. Didn't work, guys.
That right there is going to be what sparks that momentum shift.
Yeah.
Right there. That's what they needed. Washington threw everything on the table, and it did not work out here.
That looked like I don't know what the hell they're doing. Mariota's supposed to dive over the top there, and he stood straight up and turned around and tried to hand the ball off. So honestly, I think that was miscommunication on Washington's part, but it worked out for us. And I think you're right. I think that is the spark that they need right there. And that could turn the tide. I mean, I know it's early. It's hard to say it could turn the tide of a game.
Right.
But that realistically can change, the momentum of a game with a play like that quickly.
As a complete sidebar, we just saw this ad for the new Captain America movie. Do you follow the Marvel movies at all?
I love the Marvel
Do
movies,
you?
but they've kind of fallen off the last couple of years.
I'm with you on that, man. I've kind of the way the storylines have kind of taken off. I'm not interested
Yeah,
in it anymore.
I
Kind
mean,
of sucks.
I watched that one because it's
Harrison Ford.
well, it's Harrison Ford, and you got Anthony Mackie was still part of the original Avengers movie, so it's some of the original characters. But when I say they're kind of fallen off, they've spread out too far, and they've tried to introduce all these new characters, and it's just kind of like it's fucking too much.
Yeah,
And
that it
you're
is.
spreading us out all over the place, and some of these movies are good and they're entertaining, but some of them are just like blah. I don't even really care. But you start getting those original things. I mean, I'm excited that Robert Downey Jr. is making his way back into the MCU, playing I think Doctor Doom.
Yeah,
So that's cool to see him coming back in. It's still going to be kind of rough not seeing him as Iron Man. Those original Marvel, I mean, that whole Avengers team of the original Marvel movies was so epic. And I just rewatched, and it's funny that you say that because I just rewatched Infinity Wars and Endgame the other day,
okay.
like both of them, and just rewatched them and just remember how good those fucking movies are. Like, I mean, in Endgame at the scene when they're about to go to battle against Thanos, and it looks like Captain America's getting up off the ground. He just got his ass whooped, and his shield's broken, and he tightens that shield up around his arm, and it's all bleeding. And all of a sudden, like he gets radio comms from, the Falcon, Anthony Mackie, and he was like, "Cap on your left, Cap," and it's just like it just gives you goosebumps when all those little portals open up and all those guys start rolling out. It's like shit. Like this is all you see. Spider Man swinging in. Like that's some that's movie magic right there.
I loved watching the live theater reactions.
Yeah.
People were recording people's reactions on that scene, and some of them just losing their fucking minds over it. And I can appreciate a level of fandom to any entity on that level. They are so emotionally invested in the stories and the characters.
Big
Oh
play.
man,
JMO.
Williams with a big reception, and
See, that's what they need right there because right there, they're going to have to drop those safeties back because that's a big play. And once you drop those safeties back, you're going to have to drop those linebackers back a little bit. Then you're going to open up the run game, and then you're going to throw this game all off of whack for that defense. And that's what they do. Safeties are still dropping in, so they're still anticipating run. Look, Gibbs is a
Gibbs
fucking
is
maniac.
picking up a first
look
down
at
and
that.
more.
Got about what 13, 14 there.
Looked like at least.
That's what I say.
13.
Just let him eat right now. Give Montgomery some snaps, kind of get him back into the field. But that boy deserves to eat. He had a 4-touchdown game the last time we saw him. Just let him go. Like this is his year. Chase called before the beginning of this game. He said that Jahmyr Gibbs was going to have a career game right here, and maybe he's right. And I was like, I don't know. Monty's back, so they're going to be giving some snaps to him. But if he's rolling, let him eat. And I mean, Chase called some weird shit. He was almost right on the score the last time, and I was like, "There's no way it's gonna be that high." And all of a sudden, it's like, "Holy shit, it's realistic." His actual score is realistic.
Yeah.
They were one touchdown away from that being the realistic end to it. Like, so I don't doubt him. Maybe Gibbs has a career game right here in the playoffs. Just let him go. I mean, I'm gonna call it. They're gonna score on this drive. It's gonna happen. They're on a hell of a run. They're down to the 16-yard line right here. Gibbs got a hole.
Man,
He just got another first down.
He finds the littlest cracks and I mean, and it's over. Like,
I mean, do you watch him and kind of like if you could just close your eyes and open them and just imagine a number 20 on his back? It's
sure.
like watching fucking Barry again.
Yeah.
He is the closest thing to Barry Sanders that we've had in and I don't want to take credit away. Yeah, right there as they flashed to Barry. I don't want to take any credit away from Gibbs. Gibbs is his own man, but we haven't had a running back like him with the skill of him, with the way that he can avoid contact since right back to Monty. We're just going to push through and just punch this in with Monty. Since Barry Sanders, like Gibbs is like a clone of Barry Sanders in a way. It's like we've been waiting We thought we had that with what was his Javid Best back in the day.
Yeah.
He was so good too, but if he didn't go out with concussion issues, I mean, he had a bright career ahead of him. But Gibbs is just they scored. I just heard the scream upstairs. Did you hear that?
Yeah. So
We already know what's gonna
we're
happen.
on
I
a-
just heard Amy. It's gonna happen.
It is first and goal as we're
Yeah,
watching
Gibbs
this.
punching
And
in
there
right
he
here.
is.
There we go.
Touchdown.
Touchdown Gibbs. I love it that we get the woo from upstairs beforehand. Thank you, wife.
Detroit jumping out to a 6-0 lead. Will be 7 pending a extra point here. Appreciate everybody tuning in who is tuning in and watching this live with us. We're just here to have a good time, talk some football, observe what's happening as the Detroit Lions are on this incredible march in the postseason. This is the first game that they've had in a couple of weeks with the #1 seed. It is up and it is good, and the Lions have taken a 7-0 lead over the Commanders with 7 and some change left in the first quarter. Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan. Do you know anybody that's at the game?
I got a few friends from back in the day that I noticed off Facebook that are at the game, and actually our neighbors across the street. Scott Taylor, he owns Taylor Family Car Care in Lapeer here.
Okay.
I'll give them a shout out. He's a season ticket holder. They're at the game
Oh.
right now. I saw him and his son Drake are at the game. So, but they're at every game. They're Lions diehards. They've been season ticket holders for years. Awesome people. But yeah, they're at the game right now. He travels with the team occasionally too. So, I mean, he's at a lot of Lions games.
It's always a pretty cool thing to be able to do something like that. I've always kind of wanted to go on these, especially for Tiger
Yeah.
games. There's a number of stadiums I would like to see in person, especially the older ones before they inevitably get torn down. You know, if they can tear down Tiger Stadium and they can tear down the original Yankee Stadium, nothing's fucking safe. You know what I mean? Well, the next one I'm worried about is Wrigley Field in Chicago, and I absolutely love that ball field.
That field and Soldier Field too. Like I think that one's on the chopping block, isn't it? From what I hear,
It could,
they're
yeah,
talking about building a new stadium
if
out there,
this proposal is approved, that
Which
gives
would-
the Bears a new stadium,
which would leave Green Bay with the oldest stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, they still have the oldest stadium right now, right?
right. I believe so. Yeah,
But I don't
Lambeau
think
Field.
I've never heard anything about them tearing that stadium down.
Lambeau, something I feel like. Well, see, the thing with Lambeau is they're owned by the public. You
Yeah.
know, they have a very vested interest in what happens with that stadium. You know, I'm not sure what the specifics are. I just know that overall there is a contingent of the population in the Green Bay area that lay ownership in some regard
which
to
is-
that stadium.
It's smart.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Yeah, man. You give the fans the opportunity to buy into the team. It's smart. You know, like I mean, I don't know why more teams aren't jumping onto that bandwagon and doing that.
Because they traded in sponsorship for fan loyalty.
True.
That's what it is, and I will fucking argue that with anybody. That's what football, baseball, hockey, basketball, anything. It's no longer about the game. It's about how much money can we make out of the game.
Yeah.
You know, these guys right now, well, I guess I can't use this game as an example because you know they're very deep in the playoffs at this point. But you take like anybody on the Cleveland Browns, ask them how many of you here because you actually love playing football, not because of the paycheck you're getting, sitting on your ass right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's and I understand we got into the wrestling business because we wanted to make money as professional wrestlers. Football players, any kind of athlete, they want to make a living at this because that's what they love. You know, that's what they love, and I can appreciate that. But how much does that change when you actually start making a good living, a good amount of money on your paycheck to play the game? How much
Yeah.
is it? for the love of the game, and now, or is it just for the paycheck?
I think a lot of us to the paycheck, when you talk about that aspect, I always go back to Tyreek Hill when he left the Chiefs to go to Miami to take that big paycheck, and now after a couple seasons, he's like, I want the fuck out of Miami because
Right.
he could have had 2 more Super Bowl rings if he would have just stayed with the Chiefs, took a little bit less money, and he would have been there, and he would have been welcome to stay there. You know what I mean? So yeah, sometimes these players chase the money. Sometimes you'll see these guys go to teams that they know have no chance to have a to chase a ring, and
Hmm.
they're uh they're just there to take the money. Which I mean, at some point, do you blame them? This is a rough sport. Your career could end at any minute, so you want to. And the careers aren't very long.
Right.
Most of these guys are going to retire by 30 years old, and you want to make enough money to have generational wealth before 30 years old. And some of them blow all their money. Some of them don't have that. A great play, great play. Anzalone's a fucking madman. Some of them don't have that ability to go on to make more money. Kind of like I look at some of these people like I give big props. Let's go back to the Chiefs. Let's talk about the Kelseys right now. Even you go to Philly and you look at Jason Kelsey. He's having a hell of a after career.
Yeah.
They have one of the top podcasts in the world that I think they signed like a 5-year, $100 million contract to do that podcast. Once a week, they get to sit down for an hour and just bullshit with each other. And I don't know if you listen to their podcast, but their podcast has been elevated. Like they're doing interviews with everybody right now. Just in the last few weeks, they've had Caitlin Clark, LeBron James, Will Ferrell. Who was on before that? I'm having a brain fart. I listened to it. Oh, they had Bill Murray. They're doing interview
Oh
shows.
shit.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah. Like they're doing interviews now, and like the podcast is huge. It's a great podcast, too. Anybody gets a chance, you sit down, take an hour, I'll give a shout out to them. Like I know we have a podcast. Our podcast is great. I love
I was
them.
gonna
We're
say
actually
it's
starting to
no
make some traction.
sports real podcast. Calm
Yeah.
the fuck down.
Yeah. But their podcast, like you listen, take a chance to listen to New Heights. Great podcast. I'm a huge podcast fan. That's all I listen to all week long is nothing but podcasts. But um New Heights is great. He's got a great career there. He's doing the the halftime show and everything else, usually Monday night. I know he was just at the Chiefs game on Saturday. He's got his own late night show on ESPN now. Like he's having a great. Plus, they have their own beer. Um, I tried it a few years. It's garage beer. Just be honest, it's Bud Light in a different can. It tastes just like Bud Light.
Mm.
Not really in my bag. It's a little too, not really beery. It's more sweet to me. But they're having a great. I mean, Travis Kelsey's acting. I mean, he was just in a show on FX. In the off season, like they're gonna have great you know, after football careers, but a lot of these guys don't get that opportunity. So it's like make that money while you can and
Yeah.
don't blow it. Be smart with it.
Be smart with it is the key here. As Washington around the 30-yard line trying to, oh man, that got batted away.
Darius Smith. God, he was such a good pickup. I can't wait to Hutch is back because I think we have him next year too. And he's been an animal. You imagine him on the right side of that and Hutchinson on the left side with Lee McNeil back and DJ Reader. That defensive line is going to be fucking crazy next year. Just absolutely crazy.
Even if Smith is not signed for next year, you got to believe he's going to make every attempt to re-sign here.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we talked about it when he first came to Detroit. He didn't have to play that first week he was here, but he still went on the road with the team and was like an active cheerleader for
Yeah.
it. He wanted it to be here. He wants to be a part of this team because he's obviously he's seeing what's happening here. He's part of something extraordinary special, if not historic, at a bare minimum.
Yeah.
So, no, go ahead.
Yeah, and he's fit what they look for so much. I mean, they want somebody gritty who's going to play with everything they have to the last down. And I think you're right. Like he wants to be here more than ever. He was before he was even traded. He wanted to come here. He was calling it out. Like,
oh man,
like did he drop it? I don't know. Yep,
No,
no, he dropped it. It was
fourth
incomplete.
and
I was going
10.
to say there was no football move there to complete that one. But yeah, I mean, he almost made that shit happen, to be honest. He was all over social media, pretty much calling out he wanted to play for the Lions. He knew where he wanted to come. But the majority of his career has been in the North, anyways, the
Yeah.
NFC North. I mean, he's played Minnesota, Green Bay, and then he went to Cincinnati, and now he's back. I mean, if he ever goes to Chicago, he's completed the whole NFC North. Let's have a field goal miss here. It's been a night of field goal miss. If you watched the Chiefs game earlier, like there was a lot of missed field goals in that one by Houston. They kind of dropped the ball there with the missed field goals. But
Yeah.
if we can, I mean, let's just keep holding them to field goals and just keep scoring on them. And this will be a hell of a game.
Well, the Commanders are now on the board with that field goal, 7-3. Now Detroit's leading this thing, and we kind of talked about venues a little bit ago. With the historic older venues, is there any building, any stadium that you have not been to that you would like to check out?
Oh, Arrowhead.
Oh, yeah, I don't know why I didn't think about.
And I think I'm going to put this out there in the atmosphere right now. I saw my wife was listening earlier. If I had a dream right now, I know the Lions play the Chiefs next season in Arrowhead. Like it might be a trip to go to Arrowhead next season to see the Lions play the Chiefs in Arrowhead. So yeah, that's when I want to go. I want to go to Arrowhead. And I had an argument with the guy at work the other day. I don't know. Dustin's been watching. Dustin listens. He was arguing about how Detroit had the loudest stadium in the NFL, and I'm like, no, which is crazy. We've talked about this on the podcast before. Arrowhead has the record for the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's an open air stadium, which is fucking mind boggling.
It makes you wonder, how can that even be?
Ah,
I mean, obviously it can because it registers on the
Yeah.
decibel meter, but at the same time, you're talking about like Ford Field's enclosed, that sound goes up and then out.
yeah, it's a dome.
And then with something like Arrowhead, like you're saying, open air, it just goes out.
Yeah.
There's nothing to hold it in place.
They hit 142 decibels, where the Lions' highest was 134.
Mm.
But don't get me wrong, I love the Lions. 134 is loud as shit. Like you can't get much louder. But yeah, Arrowhead. I want to go to Arrowhead. It would be cool to go check out Soldier Field. We've been outside of it, never been in it. Like just to be able to go. I would love to go to Lambeau if Green Bay didn't play there.
Would you go to a Lions game at Lambeau?
Yeah, I would.
Now, would you wear Lions shit walking into Lambeau?
Oh fuck yeah, I would. Who's gonna fuck with me? Let's be honest.
Fair. That's fair.
I'm
Although
6'2", 300 pounds,
no,
and I look mean 90% of the time. Nobody's gonna fuck with me.
That's fair. I can't argue that. Hey, let me show you something else that's going to be making its debut before this thing gets back up and rolling. A new line of merchandise will be hitting the PFC online store very soon. The new baseball jerseys that I've alluded to are going to be making their PFC store debut next month. So I've had a lot of fun making those. I think there's like 13, 14 different designs from the different
They look
shows.
good. I'm gonna have to get me one. I want to get the Sports Grill one.
Well, which one? There's like 4 different colors.
Well, it all depends on how I feel that day.
No, I
'Cause
hear
you
you.
made a Chiefs colored one. Like you kind of went around the whole thing like that. I don't know. It might have to be like maybe a Tigers color one because it is baseball, you know, type of thing. And we'll be moving into. I mean, we're only a few months away from opening day,
Yeah.
so shit's turning around fast here pretty soon. I mean, golf is going on right now, but we're about to get back into major season soon. I'm excited about that. Like, there's the football season's about to end. I'm sad. I'm gonna shed a tear for football season ending.
Well, we still got the UFL.
I know. Actually, you know, I want to go down this year. Come on, big play. Like awesome. Sam Laporta wide open. He's wearing the old arm brace now. Like it's got shades of Gronk all over it. Actually, speaking of Gronk, he's
An idiot.
we got a new thing coming to Lapeer. Did you see it? The Smith Sports Complex or whatever, where the old the hockey arena was, the Polar Palace. They're reopening up it as indoor sports complex, and Gronk is part of the leadership board of that.
Really?
Yeah, And
wasn't
Herman
aware of
Moore
that.
is part
Holy
part of it
Gibbs.
too. Big fucking play by Gibbs. They're opening shit up
Yeah.
now. Yeah, so like I saw pictures on Facebook there a couple weeks ago. Herman Moore was in the building there. They were checking it all out.
I'll be damned.
Yeah. So and then Gronk is one of the people on the leadership. We were reading all about it. And yeah, so you're gonna have Gronk part of it, Herman Moore, everything else.
I'm glad they're doing something with that building. That they're
Yeah.
not just going to let it rot and then and turn around and tear it down. It has so much potential.
Yeah.
If I had money, I would have totally bought that thing and renovated it. Still keep hockey on one side, but utilize that other side as a another entertainment type of venue that you could
Yeah.
rent out or what have you.
Well, I don't think they're doing anything hockey.
No,
To be honest, no. It's actually be a good program for the kids. All right, not a good program, but a good building for the kids in the area because they're gonna give them something to do. They're gonna have like indoor basketball and a bunch of other sports. There's actually gonna be an indoor golf thing. I think a simulator in there, so that's gonna be really cool. Me and Chase are gonna have to go check that out. Because Chase is actually big into golf. He's actually a damn good little golfer. He's been playing since he was like, I think maybe 6 years old. So, and he's getting better and better every year. He's actually doing quite well. Um, so that'll be something neat. They have like, there was a whole list of sports that they were going to have. I think that the hockey is, that's a lot of upkeep financially.
yeah.
And with the high school teams and stuff like that, not renting it out anymore, I think they're going to Flint now. Not to, I don't know if they're playing Pirani or the other one that they have out there in Flint.
I think they're at Iceland.
Okay, yeah, they're
Yeah.
at Iceland. Without that budget coming in, it doesn't make sense to have, the hockey rinks anymore. But it'll be a cool spot. I'm sure my kid's gonna be hanging out there all the fucking time. So I mean,
Oh man.
well, that was a fumble. We
Yeah.
just turned the ball over.
Washington got it. It looks like Goff. Man, I don't know if it got punched out. Lost the ball. Washington recovers in a very prime spot here. Big break here for the Commanders.
They punched that out. Good on. I mean, yeah. I mean, that was a mistake right there.
A rare one from Jared Goff,
Yeah.
but this, once again, the defense is going to come in here and they're going to have to step it up and make a stand. But if you're the Commanders, you got to believe this might be the spark. I don't know, man. Like I'm watching this team and I'm slowly watching that air get sucked right out of them. Up until that point. So
Yeah.
maybe this is the spark that Washington needed.
I mean, it's always good to watch a competitive game. So let's see how our defense do. Hey, it looked like on that last drive, our defense was kind of figuring them out a little bit. So let's see how they do. But in the meantime, I do have to step away for 1 second.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll be back in about 30 seconds. I'll leave you with Jason. I've been watching football since 4:30, and I've been drinking the entire time. So I will be back in a moment. So give me 1 second.
Well, while Tim tends to that, we will go ahead and remind everybody one more time that we will be live on location next Saturday, or no, I'm sorry, next Sunday for Championship Sunday. We are going to be looking at the NFC Championship game. Tim and I will be at Lightning Rounds in Lapeer, Michigan, beginning at 2:30. We will be live on the air. Come on out and check out. It's a very cool place. The atmosphere is fantastic. And we had a real good time there for the Monday night football game that happened a couple of weeks back between the Lions and the 49ers, as it were. So we're going to be back there next Sunday afternoon for the NFC Championship game. Um, and for the benefit of those who are not in the loop of, may not be diehard football fans, you're not really exactly sure why this game means anything. Let me just go ahead and fill in the blanks here. The winner of this game is going to advance to the NFC Championship game. And if they were to win the NFC Championship, they would go on to the Super Bowl. I understand the majority of people know that, um, but there are some who are tuning in for one reason or the other that may not understand, why this is a big game. They're not what you would call football fans. But with all the hoopla around the Detroit Lions, it's almost impossible not to get excited about this. You just feel the overall energy of the fan base, especially on game day. You go into your local town, your stores, your bars, your this or that. There is such a sense of excitement. Washington now with 45 seconds left in the first quarter, trying to make the best of a huge opportunity here with that turnover from Jared Goff. Washington, Jaden Daniels has been, he's 8 out of 12 for 83 yards at this point. The, the blitz, but they went ahead and ran it anyway. Out of bounds goes Robinson. Second down. And, Tim and I talked about this at great length that, this was not going to be a rollover game. Washington was not going to come in and be intimidated. They were going to make a stand, make their presence known. Now, what happens after that, it remains to be seen. But we have seen time and time again, Detroit will just continue to wear down the entire team, regardless of what side of the ball that they're playing on. So it's pretty cool to be in this position where your team that you have spent literally your whole life watching fail. Um, is now considered one of the elite teams in the league right now. And completely shifting bars, and while they are on a commercial break, we will go ahead and run a commercial break to add to for our next appearance on ONTV as a part of the PFC Entertainment Network. Technical issues. We were live last night, or last night on ONTV. We will be back on the air on January the 31st for a special Royal Rumble preview show the night before the Royal Rumble. So you can check that out at facebook.com/ONTV. And Tim Sheridan is back with us. Um, as Detroit is going into the second quarter here with a 7-3 lead, Washington remains with the ball here. One quarter down, brother, and it's kind of not gone dominantly one way or the other at this point. I mean, statistically on the ground, the rush yards may be more in favor of Detroit, but this has not been a dominating overall pushover. The Washington Commanders are trying to make a game out of this.
I mean, they're gonna try to make it. It's playoffs. Yeah, I mean, everybody's gonna be playing the last down. This is win or go home. Your season's done, so everybody's gonna try to make a game out of it. Honestly, if that turnover didn't happen, they would have probably scored there, and this game would have been kind of getting out of hand for Washington. So this keeps it interesting. Not that I like to see it interesting. Like I'd rather see the Lions just run away with this thing and move on to next week. But let's see how the defense holds up. So far, they've been holding up well. They're flashing Hutchinson on the screen. I saw he was on the front of the Detroit Free Press this morning. I know there's a lot of people saying he might be back for the NFC Championship game. I don't think he'll be back there unless they really need him. And I don't even know if I'd bring him back for that yet. But it just depends on the matchup. I don't know. Depends on how healthy he is.
Right. Man, you really don't want to push it with him. Like I understand he's in terms of his healing progress, man, oh man, Daniels
Yeah, I mean,
fires it down the field. Brown picks it up for a big reception, big first down.
yeah, they can't let that happen. They can't let these receivers get open. Somebody dropped coverage there altogether. Brown was wide open. Like they can't do that. You got to hold this shit tight. Right there. I mean, you gotta stay on this. Stick to your man coverage. Keep beating the shit out of them. Just keep it going.
Man, that was a hell of a completion there, but that's what this kid's been known for this season as he has marched, you know,
Yeah.
marched the Commanders into the playoffs here.
I mean, he's hands down offensive rookie of the year.
Has to be, right?
Yeah, like I mean, I don't think anybody even contends with this kid. Like he is so good. And this is what you have to watch out. He's dangerous here. Like, yeah, just don't let him get free.
Forced out of bounds a couple yards short of the first down here, but Daniels having to take it on with his own 2 feet.
This would be another big stop right here to force him to kick a field goal again.
Yeah.
Just hold him to field goals and just keep scoring, and this game can be yours. That's what it is.
3rd and 3 now. 13:30 to play, or 13:20 to play in the second quarter of this game.
Right there. Okay, so they're gonna force him into another field goal. Look at it, their offense is still on the field.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's still on the field. They may be going for it.
They might be looking at. I mean, they in order to beat Detroit, Detroit's going to put a lot of points on the board in this game.
Yeah.
They've marched the field twice already. Without that turnover, they would have scored again. So it makes sense that they're going to go for it. Now this would be a big stand for Detroit again. Like, let's just keep the momentum that they had the last time they played against Minnesota and just stop them. Or they might just be trying to draw them offsides. They're just trying to. Nope, they're going for it.
Oh man,
they got the first down.
They got the first down. Looks like they're about the 2-yard line. Damn.
I don't know why they don't have Anzalone on him right now. He was doing really well against Hawkinson. Like, keep Anzalone on the tight end. Like, that's what you need to do. Stick to that game plan. Ertz is dangerous.
This has been a big series here for Washington. 1st and goal. Oh man, he missed that one.
Let's just hold him here. That's all we need to do is just hold him. Force him to kick a field goal. Or it'd be a great time for a turnover. We haven't seen one of those yet in this game.
No, I wouldn't be mad. I'm trying to get a feel, I'm trying to get a feel for the overall body language, the aura, if you will, of the offensive line right now, because they had a close up on Daniels, and he's all standing there all wide eyed and stuff. I'm like, is that determination or fear? Because
it probably
he had just missed that that throw.
Maybe a little bit of pressure.
Could be.
A rookie quarterback in a big game. It's.
What do you imagine that does for a young kid like that, knowing that everybody that tunes into a sports radio talk show, ESPN, your local, market, your name is in their mouths.
Yeah.
What makes me wonder how, what that does to a person, to their psyche. Especially somebody, brand new into this, and oh man,
there's flag.
Yeah.
Tripped him up.
Well, flag is thrown. This is presumably going to be against Detroit.
Let's see what happens. I'm trying to see. I don't see a whole lot of pass. Oh, he tripped him up in the feet. But he was playing the ball. So technically, he didn't really put a whole lot on him there. I think that's a cheesy flag, to be honest. I think that's a cheesy flag.
Let's bring in our rules analysts. We didn't bring the rules analyst this week. Try again, 1st and goal. No.
Nothing stuffed, right? But they lost a yard.
Anzalone in there. That dude is a beast. He came back, that last game,
Yeah.
his return, to after his injury, and when he just, I mean, he was a beast. Like he didn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
You know, there's Hutch
He's probably fucking just wanting to get back into
chomping,
this game, just like
chomping at
just
the
get me
bit.
back in.
You see him rocking back and forth. You just like, man, that's a kid that wants it. And or I'm sorry, Washington punches it in. They get the touchdown. They're going to take the lead here very early on in the second quarter.
Who's injured? Who's the injured player?
I don't know.
Is it a lion? Is it a
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I never knew that
I
about him.
didn't know that either. If
Oh, it's
uh,
offensive lineman.
they
That's
were,
gonna hurt them because
yeah.
they already their offensive line isn't the greatest to begin with, and if they gotta start throwing backups in, that could be a change in this game very quickly.
You're not listening to the Fox broadcast. They just made mention Robinson. Uh, they're talking of multiple gunshots and the carjacking situation a couple of years ago, and now here he is punching in a much needed, a very important touchdown in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Jesus Christ, man,
Yeah.
to be able to come back for something like that, I bet that dude's got some stories. Like I like the Commanders. I just wish they weren't playing the Lions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they have a very bright future ahead of them. I still think the Lions are going to run away with this game at some point. They've been very dangerous in the second half of the season. Eventually, they're just going to start running away with us. But Commanders, Jaden Williams, I'm really hoping he doesn't have that like sophomore fall off that a lot of quarterbacks have. He's had an incredible season. It's kind of reminds me of C.J. Stroud last year. Um, he had this incredible season, won a playoff game, lost in the divisional round last year. Same story this year. Like he's good, but he kind of went down in production this year compared to what he was the first year. And that could be the loss of weapons over the year or something. I'm really hoping that Jaden Daniels keeps it up because it keeps the NFC interesting. Um, you need more good teams to keep these football games interesting. Like the AFC has so many good teams that it's just like if you're a fan of any team in the AFC, you're sweating it because at any time you could be like, shit, I got to face these people in the playoffs. I got to face these people. NFC has a lot of really good teams. Unfortunately, they're all out of the playoffs already. I
Right.
mean, Minnesota looked great. I think they were a little bit of frauds this year. I've been saying that all
All
season
season.
long.
Yeah.
But like you add another team into this mix with Washington, and I think they got a bright future ahead of them. I unfortunately for them, I think the Lions
Mm.
just keep getting better and better because the Lions are built and they're not going to lose anybody. They're only going to be able to add to this. I mean, you look at last year compared to this year, and they're going to add even more next year. It's a dangerous team for years. It's going to be years before they start seeing a fall.
All right, now we're going to get the extra point after getting the injured offensive lineman off the field, and it's up and it's good. And Washington is going to take a 10-7 lead. 10:55 left to go in the first half here. Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. I wish I knew somebody that was there that we could get them on the call. What is it like in that stadium right now?
Yeah.
I would love to have an in-person correspondent. I'm going to see about landing something like that if this particular team advances to next week's NFC Championship game,
I'm
because
praying.
I need to know what that atmosphere
Yeah.
feels like.
I'm praying Lions go today. Um, and that'd be both my teams in their championship games. And I'm still dead set on Lions Chiefs Super Bowl. So
It's gonna be Lions Buffalo, but that's okay.
oh, you keep saying that. Keep betting against Mahomes.
I'm just saying. Listen, I can't agree with every damn thing you say because that then it becomes boring.
Yeah, it wouldn't make shit interesting.
Yeah,
Or should I just follow the rest of the internet and say it's going to be the Lions versus the refs Super Bowl?
yeah.
But then again, I've seen a lot of shit for the refs favoring the Lions this year too. So it's like, fuck off. Just because the team is good don't mean the refs play on their sides.
I will say though, while the previous game was on before this one here today, like I was packing my bag, getting ready to come over here, texting with my girl, trying to, you know, make sure I had all my ducks in a row. And the one thing that I kept hearing from the TV broadcast, it was Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. They were making a lot of mention about refs
Yeah.
influence involvement in the game with Kansas City. Not they weren't just singling out Kansas City, but it was brought in that light because that's the game that they were. Oh my God, that was
That was
close.
close. He went for the big shot. That would have been
Williams,
huge.
yeah, man, just a fingertip and a half away. He could have brought that in. Man, doggone it. You knew that would have been a huge
Yeah.
play. Real quick, we made mention of the UFL. The Michigan Panthers are part of the UFL. I think we should see if we can't get in contact with somebody and broadcast from a Panthers game. I think that'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool. I definitely want to get down and check them out this season. They play at Ford Field. It'd be interesting to go down there and see them play. I mean, Jake Bates came from there last season, so
Right?
you might see some future Lions players come off that field. They definitely. I mean, it obviously shows that they watch what's going on in their stadium with the UFL. So it'd be good to go down there and check it out. Like I'm really interested. And tickets are cheap. I mean, I was looking at them last year. You can get tickets for like $25.
Yeah, oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's cool to go hang out downtown for a day. Like downtown Detroit is beautiful. Like it's really cool down there now. Like here's another. There it
Oh,
is.
there it is.
Amon Ra, baby. Probably a pass interference call too. I see a little bit of
Huge.
grabbing as he was trying to get away from that. So hopefully this call goes our way. Yeah. Okay. So they
Right.
call it holding instead of pass interference. For him to be able to get away out of that too, out of that call, because you'll see it right there, holding, boom. For him to be able to get out of that, like he is so clutch.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so reliably so clutch. I mean, if anybody says that he's not one of the top receivers in the fucking league, they're out of their mind. I know he hasn't got as many yards as some of the other guys this year, but they have so many offensive weapons. It's hard to be the standout on this team. Like they run the ball so much. I mean, you look at Gibbs right here.
Gibbs, yep,
He's
on
a
the
fucking
ground.
animal.
Another
Another
first
14
down.
yards at least.
Well, Goff is responsible for 103 yards at this point.
Yeah.
6 out of 8 here. But Jameer Gibbs, man, like this kid is turning it on a different level. You compared him to Barry Sanders. The only thing that's different in terms of his presentation versus Sanders, Sanders had that ability to literally stop on a dime, and
Yeah.
within a half of a blink, he contorted his whole body and found a thing. Gibbs, Christ, Gibbs
Gibbsy.
hasn't perfected that cut yet.
No.
You know, that as sharp, as slick as Barry did. He's getting there though, and he will be. But at the end of the day, nobody gives a shit about any of that. It's how many yards is this kid picking up on the run here today? What we saw in the last game with Minnesota, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Dude was huge. This team is a real life Madden team in some
Here we go.
regards.
Here we
And-
go. Here.
Oh man,
I mean, they're down this far. They're going to get a touchdown. Khalif Raymond, Just great play. I think they're down to the 3, maybe 4 yard line.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, Rep right there saved the touchdown because had that not happened, he was in.
Yeah. Oh, they're going in here.
Yeah, first and goal here.
You guys ain't gonna be able to stop this shit. Oh,
Did he
yeah.
get
There
it?
it is. Sam Laporta pulled that in.
It looked like he had missed the target, but
Yeah.
Porter reached out with one hand, grabs it.
He reached out with that bad arm, too.
That was amazing. And Detroit has regained the lead here, 13-10. Goff, man, like I thought this was going to be. Look at that.
And he pulled it right in. Pulled that ball out underneath of him. Boom. Perfect. Never touched the ground.
Unbelievable.
Perfect. You know, and a lot of people give Goff shit. And I don't know why. Goff is one of the best fucking pocket passers in this league. And he's one of the best under pressure. He was making that pass while being hit. I watched Patrick Mahomes do that earlier in a game to Travis Kelce, and it was fucking phenomenal. Goff just did the same thing. He's going touch for touch. This guy should have been, and I don't know why, a more serious contender for MVP this season. Like, if they didn't run the ball as much as they do, he'd probably be a front runner for MVP. The problem is they run the ball so much, and I'm not going to trade that out because we have the most balanced offense in the league. In fact, another shout out to another podcast I listen to, Drinking Bro Sports. They were talking the other day, or on their last Drinking Bro Sports podcast, about how this is the most complete football team they've ever seen. And it would actually be the most complete football team if the defense wasn't so injured. But overall, this is the best offense they've ever seen in their lives. Like, it's such a complete offense. Like, you can't take away the run and give more passes to Goff to give him MVP. And I don't think they'd have it that way, to be honest. Like, they want to win. And that's what this is all about, is winning. So let's keep this up. We need a good defensive stop here before the half and put another 7 on the board before the half. Let's just put so many points on this fucking board. And that's been Detroit's way this whole season, is take it out of the refs' hands and let's just keep scoring. And that's why they're, arguably, I mean, they've scored more points than anybody in this league, and they have the highest differential than anybody in this league. It's because they take it out of the refs' hands. They've gotten screwed so many times in the past. They're just like, fuck it, we're just going to keep scoring and scoring and scoring and scoring. They don't stop. They play to the very last down.
If you would like to be a part of the conversation, you can join us in the live chat. If you are in a position where you'd like to be on the show, you can send us a DM and we will send you the link, and you can actually be a part of the show itself here, as we are doing this live through Riverside.fm, the PFC network on Facebook, and of course YouTube. We appreciate everybody that is tuning in here.
Oh, speaking of something, did you see my additions to my little studio here? Amy got me the Ford Field plaque. Right here.
Oh, I absolutely love that.
Like, that's cool as shit. And then she got me the Lions fan cave.
That I did see.
And then her dad, my father-in-law, Kerry, he got me the little Lions logo up there. So, like, adding pieces down here.
I love it.
Starting to come together.
That Ford Field thing is really, really cool.
That's really cool. I've already told her, I was like, I love it. It's absolutely awesome. I was like, but I need an arrowhead to go right below. You know what I mean? Like, that's it for me. You know what I mean? I love the Ford Field. This thing is badass. I mean, it's like a complete replica of Ford Field with the stadium. Like, it's awesome. Like, I love it. So studio's starting to come together.
It is, and it really, like, it had a cool vibe before, but I can really appreciate the additions that you got going on here. Can I tell you something goofy that I did?
What's that?
You know what air dry clay is?
What is that?
Air dry clay.
No.
So you know how the clay that we had when we were kids.
Yeah.
If you wanted to make something, you had to put it in this really hot oven and fire it, and then it would cure and all that shit. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. They made this air dry stuff, and it comes in a tube or like a bucket, and it's modeling clay. You can make different things with it, and the air will dry it, and then you can decorate
Okay.
it and seal it and all
Yep.
this other shit. So my girl got me turned on to this stuff, and it's something that we had done, something to do with the kids, something to do, family time, not, or some sort of activity that didn't involve watching TV, watching some sort of screen, you know what I mean, playing video games, what have you. So I really got into this thing. Now I'm not good at it, but one of my projects that I made was a silver dome
Oh no shit.
with, with the roof that comes off, and when you look down into it, you see the old school Lions field, and
Oh
I
cool.
and I painted the sides of it. It's very choppy, very rough, but it was my first attempt at something like this. But it has inspired me to create more things with air dry clay that I'm going to turn and sell at craft shows.
Oh cool.
You know, I don't
That
know.
kind of reminds me. It's kind of off the kill, but a couple years ago, Chase had got um this little, what the fuck are those little machines that do the little plastic units? You know what I'm talking about? I'm having a brain fart right now. I've been drinking. Cut me off.
The machines. I don't know.
That make all the 3D printing.
Oh,
So he got a little
okay.
3D printing
Oh
pen.
shit.
This is big for them. Kirby Joseph. No,
Oh
it's a touchdown.
man. Did he step out?
I don't know. Anyways, so
Guess not.
they're calling Terry. We had to cut off Terry McLaurin. Like he's good. Like he was their biggest threat at receiver. But so Chase got this little 3D printing pen, so you can make these little tiny things with this 3D printing. And like me, I'm like bored, so I'm like making shit with it. So I make this little house. It's just this little tiny house, and I'm like, I'm gonna make this tiny little house, and then I make this little tiny penis to go in this house, and I give it to Amy, so it's a little penis house. Like I'm fucked up.
That was not on my bingo card of
You
things I
made
thought I'd
the
hear
silver
today.
dome. I made a penis house.
Oh, that's fun.
Washington's definitely making this a game, though.
They are. They are now up 17-14 with 6:23 left in the first half. Uh, and that was a huge touchdown for Washington. Yeah, this is not going to be, a one-sided blowout for the Detroit Lions. And
Not yet. Yeah, I still have hope. It's still a lot of game left to play.
Well,
We're not
there
even at
is.
halftime yet.
There is. Do you think this is going to be one of those occasions where they go into halftime very close, and then the next thing you know, they come out of the second half with guns ablazing, and they're just going to run away with it,
Kind of like the Minnesota game.
kind of like the Minnesota game?
Yeah, I mean it's a good possibility.
I don't want to be that guy, but
No, I mean Detroit Lions is second half team this year.
yeah,
They've done more damage in the second half than almost any other team out there.
I need to replenish.
I'll keep everybody entertained here as we're watching a commercial for some dragon shit.
It's
How to
Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon. Who the fuck cares? I don't have any kids young enough to watch that shit anymore. My kid's into football now and other shit. We don't get to watch the kids shows anymore. Unfortunately, because I've enjoyed a lot of them over the years. Like he was really into the Minion movies for a while.
The Minion movies are badass.
Yeah. Like he was into that shit. He was into SpongeBob, and SpongeBob is the weirdest fucking shit ever.
Listen, get fucked up one night.
Oh, I've been there. Been there.
Fucked up one night and watch a few SpongeBob episodes.
It makes you realize SpongeBob is the most twisted fucking show you've ever watched in your life.
One for kids.
Yeah.
It was for us.
Yeah. But the kids loved it. My kid loves SpongeBob.
Mine did too. We all had matching SpongeBob Jimmy pants. Years after he got out of it, I still had the SpongeBob, pants because listen, thing about me, I'm getting my money's worth out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm wearing them bitches until they got holes in them and I can't fix them or
Yeah.
whatever. Nah, I'm not in the market to waste money. You know,
Oh, we need to score on this drive, Jason.
we do.
We just need to keep scoring.
I'm glad to see as they see an overhead shot of Comerica Park. Looks like they've made some real progress on the renovations that they've been
Are
doing
they
to.
renovating this year?
Yeah, man, they did something with the seats behind home plate
Oh, okay.
and made it. They reconfigured the schematics of it, and I think they added a bunch of seats in there. But I don't remember what game it was, but there was an overhead shot of Comerica, and it looked like they were preparing it for demolition. I'm like, damn, somebody better be fixing that up because that looks awful.
Yeah, we're only a couple months away from opening day, so
Yep,
that's a crazy thing. This year, I mean, we're already it's January 18th already.
I know it.
Like, what the fuck? It just feels like it was New Year's Eve. We're like 3 weeks away from the Super Bowl.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and the football's gonna be over, and I'm gonna cry.
Listen, we just got done saying there's still going to be the UFL.
Yeah, but it's just I don't like.
I know
I
it's
have to
not
go
the
down and
same.
I have to go down and try it. I can't knock it till I try it. Get behind the team. Sam Laporta just got
Listen, I'm legitimately going to try to get in contact with somebody about getting us to see if we can broadcast during a UFL game down there. Because I mean, why not?
yeah, it'd be
I mean,
fun.
obviously, I'm not gonna we're not gonna be able to do something like this for the. Although, wouldn't that be badass for next season if we were able to do a Lions game?
Yeah,
That's when you know you've done something, right? But UFL, man, like they need anything and everything to get momentum going behind the idea of spring football. For people like you and me and other hardcore diehard fans, you know, they're not ready for football to be over. If they had it their way, there'd only be a month off in between seasons. Obviously that can't be a thing, but with the failure that the XFL was, it kind of put a bad taste in everybody's mouth when you started, talking about spring football as golf gets
oh fuck.
intercepted. Oh, and he is, goddamn,
God
bro,
damn it.
pick six. Washington Commanders have just pick six, and they are now up 23-14. I don't believe that. That has
What is he
really
doing? He had Laporta wide open there.
that has really shifted the vibe in
Yeah.
Ford Field, man. You can hear a pin drop right now. Damn.
I mean, it's still early. I ain't sweating it. This is the
No,
Lions we're talking about.
extra point is good, and the
They're down by 10
Commanders,
going into the half. It's not the first time this season.
right? But holy crap! Oh man, Goff takes a big shot there. Man, that's kind of leading with the helmet, is it not?
Yeah, that should have been a penalty, honestly.
Well, that got ugly real quick. Like, what did you say? 3 weeks from the Super Bowl?
Yeah. And the Lions need to fucking kick it into high gear so we can get there.
It is being held in New Orleans this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see the logo? We've talked about this, right? About the logo that they selected for the Super Bowl this year. How ugly it is.
Yeah. There's some people that still think that it has to do with the teams that are going to be on it, with the colors and everything else, like those weirdos.
Listen, the funny thing about that is the majority of the Super Bowls that were used as examples were good teams prior or just prior to that logo being made.
Yeah.
And when you look at teams like the Giants, the Bills, I guess Kansas City does to some regard because there's red in there. Um, they're using primary colors that are shared by multiple teams. So you're kind of increasing the chances that there's going to be a team in that game that has
have those
that
colors.
color in their color scheme. Get the fuck over yourself. Now, if they were doing something that was like Jaguar green or Carolina blue, then I can see your argument because those are not normal colors. Those are unique shades, hues, if you will. Oh,
But that all got blown up last year because I think their colors last year were like purple and red or some shit. Like it
yeah.
was a weird thing, and they were like, "Oh, it's gonna be Baltimore and the 49ers in the Super Bowl," and it ended up being Chiefs and 49ers. It was
Mhm.
red and red. Like there was no purple in it. Like so, there's no. You're not buying into that shit. That got blown up last year. Get over it. This year it's red and what? Like is it red and yellow?
Red and yellow, red and orange. Let me see if I can pull it up here real quick. Because
Goff's going back to get checked out in the locker room.
dude, it's
No,
that
he's fine.
headshot.
No. If Goff's out of this game, we're fucked.
No, we got Teddy Bridgewater.
I don't think that Teddy Bridgewater's been suited up yet. We're gonna find out who's playing for him right now. That should have been a penalty.
I agree with you. Okay.
Teddy Bridgewater is in.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I'm not gonna knock it. Yeah, you're like red and green and yellow.
Yeah.
False start right away. You pull in a new quarterback in there and the cadences are off, you're gonna end up with false starts.
Oh man, this took a complete turn that we just did not anticipate. Jared
Yeah.
Goff is he being evaluated for concussion protocol? Is that what they're saying right now? You got to
Probably.
believe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater, we talked about him on the last episode, coming back out of retirement. And
come on, Gibbs.
Gibbs reaches.
There's first down.
I guess just put the ball in his hand for the next 5 minutes. What the fuck else are you going to do? Kendrick Lamar is doing the halftime for the Super Bowl. Do you have an opinion one way or the other? Are you a fan?
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, okay.
There we go. First down. Now, I'm not going to knock Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater is a damn good quarterback.
Continuity-wise, though, you don't want to start fucking up the
Goff's
chemistry.
back out. He's ready to rock and roll. He'll be back in a minute. We're good. We're good. Let's not sweat this. Sorry, I had to cut you off.
Watching football with you on any other Sunday is a good day, but playoff football, you are on a different level, bro.
Oh, I fucking love playoff football. Here's J-Mo. Come on, let's go. Let's go, J-Mo. He's wide fucking open. This is it. This is going to score. Fucking touchdown. Touchdown, J-Mo.
Woo! Jameson Williams, huge run here. And the Detroit Lions get a little bit closer.
Oh, we're fucking good. That's golden. They can't, our defense needs to tighten up a little bit. We tighten up, we can run away with this game right now. I'm sorry. Yes, you're calling me out.
No.
I get a little bit intense with playoff football.
It's cool, man.
I fucking love playoff football.
I know it.
I live for this shit.
I dig it. I dig it, but
My
maybe,
dogs hate me, by the way. Like my big dog Pepper, she's a fucking lab American Bully mix. She gets scared to death when it's playoff football. Or like if any football. If the Lions, like she knows when the Lions or the Chiefs are playing. Like she hides because she knows I'm gonna go fucking nuts. But I go even way more nuts when it's playoff football. Like
oh, that's
this
great.
shit. Like I've been waiting all season for this shit.
Detroit now gets it within 3. Washington with the 24-21 lead now with just a couple of minutes left to play in the first half. Jamison Williams. See now, where are you at with like the whole somersault into the end zone gimmick? We've talked about this before, right? Is this the time to be fucking around like that? Because what happens if he lands weird?
Oh, he's good. I mean, he landed perfect. Chin was tucked.
Like
It was
we know
money.
that. We
Yeah.
know that. But I'm just saying. You get a
I mean,
guy
it's
doing
dangerous.
that
You don't
shit.
tuck that chin, you're fucked. The next thing you're gonna be getting checked out for concussion protocol.
Yeah.
But no, he's good. Like that one was well deserved. That was a hell of a play. Like flip all you want, just don't land on your fucking head and tuck your chin. I was just thinking, if we somehow get lined up with UFL and get to do that, I really have to learn to watch my language.
No, we don't. Because it'll be our show.
Oh,
We're
yeah, it'll
just
be our show.
broadcasting
Good.
from Fort Field. Fuck that. That's what brought us to the dance. That's like taking golf out and putting in Teddy Bridgewater. I
They
mean,
better give me a fucking discount on beer. That's all I'm saying. Like beers are expensive down
I
there.
know. Let me see what we can do. Let me call a few people because you know me, man. We something that we said here the last time I was here. We were throwing shit at the wall. I'm like, what if? The next
Yeah,
thing you
next
know,
thing
it
you know,
winds up
boom.
being reality. So give me a few days. Let me see what we can do.
All right, this defense needs to tighten up a little bit. Figure these guys out, start shutting them down.
Eric Cherry. Eric Cherry, he knows how to bump.
Oh, and he also I also hide when KC plays.
Yeah, he
We already
yeah,
figured out
we've
last week he's
established he is not
a
a
Raiders
Kansas
fan.
City.
Hit this motherfucker. Hit him.
3.5 minutes left to play here in the second quarter. 24-21 Commanders. I keep wanting to say, we talked about this. My brain tells me Redskins, but it's not them.
I still
anymore.
call them Redskins.
I know. I
They're
mean,
the
I do.
Redskins.
I do when I'm having private conversations with people I know it's not going to offend.
I don't know. Is it going to offend anybody?
Yeah, some people, that's the whole reason why they had to change the fucking name to begin with. Don't get me started. Do not get me started.
Let me ask you, does it offend the Native Americans?
There's a big contingent of them that don't give a fuck.
Well, if it doesn't offend them, it doesn't offend me. So we're going to keep rocking with it. And if they don't care, I'm going to keep calling them the fucking Redskins.
I know there's been some groundswell on a movement to have the name restored back to the Redskins.
I think that was part of the deal to get a new field, that they would have to at least reinstate the logo.
Mm-hmm. All right, the Commanders now is
Holding.
Goes up. God damn, man.
God, he's so good.
Antiani Brown. The dude has been a huge asset so far. Oh Lord.
God, all he had to do was get his hand. Oh, that shit, like, oh.
Wow. They are.
They're making a fucking game.
They are, man. Like every time we're just waiting for Detroit to kick it into that next gear.
Well, let's see what happens in the second.
I was just going to say they're going in the halftime.
Detroit's been known to start shutting down teams in the second half, and really start running up the score in the second half. And I'm being optimistic here because Detroit's my team. I still think we win this game hands down. They're just making this way more of a game than I thought it was going to be.
All right.
We're still early, still first half. There's a lot of football left to play.
There is, for sure.
We got what, 32 minutes of football left to play?
Yes, sir. One more time, what we do want to make mention that Tim and I will be live on location next Sunday, January the 26th, beginning at 2:30 p.m. We will be live on the air for the Sports Real Live on Location live stream podcast event special. It will happen at Lightning Rounds in Lapeer, Michigan, 266 Lake Nipissing Road. Very cool place. We were there late last month. Looking forward to returning for the NFC Championship game. Again, that is scheduled per the NFL to be at 3 p.m. We're going to go on the air live a half an hour before that, kind of get a preview of what that game is going to look like. And we will find out after tomorrow exactly who the final four is going to be for this year in the National Football League. And then we will be spending more time, once the NFL season is done, we will, shed some love over for the UFL, try to get, some more attention on them. But with golf, with hockey, with basketball, and of course, baseball season is right around the corner. There's never not going to be some headlines to talk about on the Sports Reel podcast. So
that's what I'm saying. We're about to get back into major season for golf. The Red Wings are hyping up right now. They're doing really, really well. Pistons are on a good run. So we're gonna have a lot of sports left to talk about. I know it's not as exciting as football. Sorry, guys. Football is exciting. I'm sad too. I'll shed a tear. Fuck. UFL may not be exciting as the NFL, but Jake Bates came from there. Who knows who's going to come from there next year?
It's they're very much looking at the UFL as a like a feeder system for the NFL.
Well, yeah, and they try out different things. They were trying out this new kickoff bullshit that they're doing now with the XFL a couple of years ago, but now I know they've all merged and became the UFL. But it is like a feeder, and they work closely with the NFL to try things out rules wise and stuff like that in their season to see how it'll turn out, to see if they want to use it.
I feel like if the original owner of the XFL would have been more open to a collaborative effort with the NFL, they would have told a different story for that first incarnation of the league. Once you got Dwayne Johnson as part of the ownership of the XFL, it wasn't long before they were merging with the USFL to create what we now know as the United Football League.
Yeah.
But that's, Dwayne Johnson had the presence of mind. Hey, instead of trying to go to war with the NFL, with the conglomerate that is the NFL in that genre. Vince McMahon, as great as he was as a wrestling promoter, didn't know fuck all about how to run a football league.
No.
He just thought because he was Vince McMahon, he could do it. Well, we now know that didn't work out well for him on 2 failed attempts. Get Dwayne Johnson in there who played football, who has an understanding, a genuine love and respect, and god damn it, Zach Ertz, man, pulls it in, and Washington has scored yet again, another touchdown with a minute 46 left in the half. And Aaron Glenn's shaking his head. I'm shaking mine. I don't know what the hell is going on. No lies.
You knew this game was going to be trouble. You let Jaden Daniels have time, he's going to give you trouble. They're going to be down. I mean, I still think they can come back and score before the end of the half and be down by 3 going into the half.
They are currently down by 10 now, 31-21. A minute 46 left in the second quarter. This is not, I'll tell you though, this is not the game I thought I'd see. You know,
No.
we were hoping for a competitive. Look at that piece of shit logo. We were we were talking. This was going to be a good game. I did not anticipate this. But the Lions are a second half team, and I just hope they find the winning formula. Like, okay, this is what's happening. This is what's
Yeah.
happening. Change it up a little bit. The next thing you know, well, we'll be seeing either the Rams or the Philadelphia Eagles next week, all depending on how that game goes. But I don't like the language right now, Tim. The body language on that bench.
No, but that's what the coaches' jobs are, to hype them up at halftime there. So
Did they say Goff? Okay. Yep, there he is. It is a good sign that Goff is back out there. But Teddy came in, did what Teddy had to do, and now he's back out.
Teddy looked good out there. Amon Ra, Mr. Reliable, first down. Get the ball, check it down.
One thing about Jared Goff, they're showing a graphic right now: 9 for 12 for 131 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Very rarely do you see him exude frustration.
Yeah.
He may be feeling it internally. He may be feeling some sort of internal turmoil on some level. You would never know it by his man. That was dangerous as fuck right there.
That was it. It was a catch. Lions finally called a timeout.
Yeah, it looks like it. Detroit has called a timeout.
That was a catch. Maybe. Can't see it.
Ooh,
No, they might call that one back.
they might. Damn.
Yeah, that wasn't a catch. They shouldn't have called a timeout there and just run it up.
Right. Did they call timeout?
Lions called timeout.
Dang. All right, so the booth is looking at this with a minute and a second left there. They may change that up if this gets.
I mean, I'm not even sweating that. This is not the first time we've seen the Lions down this season to come back to have a blowout. I mean, they were down, 14 points against Tennessee at one point and fucking mollywopped them. But this game is a little bit different. So far, they haven't been able to slow down Washington. You need to get to the point where you can slow them down. We had trouble slowing down Minnesota in the first half against the game, but then just completely shut them down in the second half. They didn't do shit in the second half.
When this game goes to halftime, we will also be going into halftime for a quick break, and then we will be back to cover the second half of this game. And you are welcome to join the conversation either through the live chat on the PFC Network Facebook page or
Yeah, just like we thought it was going to happen.
Incomplete pass.
I forgot in their 2 minutes, I think they go to booth reviews on everything.
So they are going to add a few more seconds to the clock. 104 now left to play in the second. It was deemed an incomplete pass, but man, what an effort! What an effort! I low key forgot that Tom Brady was broadcasting because we have the commentators turned down, and
Gibbs.
Gibbs again.
Let's get up. Don't take a timeout yet. Just get back. Get back to the line.
Oh man, that
It's all
get
right.
batted.
Stops the clock.
It's going to bring it down to the 42 seconds now in the first half. Jared Goff.
Yeah, but 42 seconds in a football game is a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. 10 for 15 for 138 yards right now for Jared Goff. Statistically, they've been pretty evenly matched. Goff now again looking at Gibbs.
Gibbs.
He's got the first down. They're going to yank him down.
Now you take a timeout.
What do you, is your headset dialed into Campbell's? What's going on? They just called
I
it.
don't know. Well, 34 seconds left. By the time you got back up the line, you'd have 20 seconds left. Now it's time to take a timeout. We need to score before this half to be down by 3 at the half. Come back after the half, tighten up this defense. Need a good motivational speech.
Maybe
The offense have been humming. I can't blame the offense at all. Defense is kind of a little bit lacking right now. We need the defense to step up.
Well, they've got the feel for the team now at this point.
Yeah. Washington just took a timeout. Dan Quinn's a hell of a coach. First time in. I mean, it's not his first time as a head coach, but I mean, first year with Washington in this. I mean, take him to the playoff. They're doing a rookie quarterback. Give all the props to the world to him. I mean, they've had a great season.
Sorry, I just had to hear what Tom Brady had to say there.
Yeah, it was the same thing.
Like, okay, well.
Come on, big play. Oh, intercepted in the fucking
You
end
have
zone.
got to be shitting me. Wow. That is the third turnover. Unbelievable. Well, it was right. You mean, oh man.
Why? Goff.
Interception into the end zone, and Washington is going to take over with 22 seconds or
Washington can get his ball back at the half too.
damn.
They could go up by fucking 17 to start the half.
They're just going to
That's
drop the
half.
knee. Yep, that is going to be the first half.
We got a hell of a half coming up, guys.
So while they go into halftime, we are going to step away for a moment or two, probably 4 or 5. We will be back when this game resumes. We appreciate you tuning in. We hope to see you on the flip side, and we'll be back with the second half of Lions and Commanders, part of the NFL divisional round here on the PFC Entertainment Network.
This episode is rated M for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of the PFC Entertainment Network or any of the affiliates that make this show possible.
And we welcome you back to Sports Real Podcast Live. We are live streaming this across our Facebook, YouTube, and of course, Riverside.fm. Along with Tim Sheridan, I'm Jason Klaus. We appreciate you tuning in here as we are doing this live watch along of the divisional showdown between the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions. They are playing in Ford Field in downtown Detroit, Michigan. This was not the game we thought we would see here, Tim, but as you have maintained and reiterated a few times now, the Detroit Lions are a second half team. They have been for pivotal games during the course of this season. At this point, they're going to damn well have to be if they want to play another week here because they're down by 10 coming into the second half, and the Commanders are going to receive the kickoff here. Takeaways from the first half.
Well, defense needs to tighten it up quite a bit. They're letting too much through, and Jared Goff needs to stop throwing picks. Like, turnovers right now are killing us, and defense is just not playing the way that they've played in the past. But hopefully we got one of those Dan Campbell speeches at halftime there that kind of remotivated these guys and got them back in the right headspace, because we really need it at this point. So I still have all the faith in the world. They're a second half team. They've been all season. They've won in big pressure moments when they've been down, and I still think they can take off in this one and start putting some points on the board. So it's something they really need to do. We need a takeaway like right about now to get back in control of this game.
30 minutes of football left to play here in this. And earlier today, we saw the Kansas City Chiefs with a big win over the Houston Texans. They will be hosting the AFC Championship game against the winner of tomorrow's game between the Bills and the Ravens. Right now, this is the first of the NFC divisional games that we're going to see this weekend. Tomorrow will be the Eagles hosting the Rams, and that's going to be a tremendous game. I feel like you have gone on and you would like to see the Rams win that, I assume. You know, just especially
Yeah.
for storyline purposes. Matthew Stafford against the Lions, and the end up. There you go.
Boom.
There you go. Bryant's taking down Daniels.
We need a big stop here.
That Cliff Kingsbury, the OC for Washington, he looks like somebody. He looks like an actor, and I cannot think of what his damn name is. If you put glasses on him, he looks like some actor. I just watched him in something not all that long ago. I'm like, oh, that could be his twin. Doesn't matter because I can't think of what the dude's name was, but just know he's got a twin out there.
Get him.
There you
go.
Took a second or two, but
And it wasn't a sack.
oh, look at there. Down goes. Thought there was going to be a little bit of a skirmish.
We don't need no skirmishes. We just need to take control.
Yeah.
Keep a level head. Just keep playing Lions football. We need to play Lions football right now. What's the flag? All right, they're gonna decline that.
All right.
Force them to punt. 3rd and 11. They're gonna punt.
Yeah.
That's good. Good stand. Less than 2 minutes off the clock and good stop. Like, this is what we need to see.
And you can see Aaron Glenn there.
Yeah.
He is a much more much more pumped up right now than we saw in the last few minutes of the first half. That speaks volumes. That's the kind of energy that we've come to expect on the sidelines of the Detroit Lions as Washington kicks this away. All right. Now, this is going to be crucial for
Yeah,
Detroit. They've got to score on this drive
you,
here.
you have to. You got to score on this drive, and you need another good stand, and you got to come back and score again.
Forget about what the hell just happened. Forget about the pick six. Forget about the interceptions in the end zone. None of that shit matters. We're back to 30 minutes of football. This is anybody's game at this point. Uh, but at the same time, there's got to be a hint, maybe not a sense, but just a hint of urgency right now on the sidelines. Do not let this get any further out of control than what we're faced with right now.
Yeah, you're down by 10. You got to put points on the board. You got to keep it within reach. So you need to do something to put points on the board, whether it's a field goal, whether it's something. You need to get back into a one-score game.
Offhand, you know what the biggest deficit would that Detroit has had to overcome is this season? Do you know offhand?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I know they've been down at the half and come back and won it.
Mhm. Let me just see.
I know at one point they were down. I think Tennessee was 14-0. They came back and destroyed them. So
Let's see if I can pull this stat up.
see, currently my buddy Eric Mandel popped down. How's it going, Eric? Good to see you watching. Hopefully this is a turnaround right here with that stop, and we can start putting some points on the board because I still have full faith in the Lions here. My Chiefs are already through, so we need the Lions to get to the NFC Championship game.
Well, I can tell you that the biggest deficit in NFL history is 45 nothing happened in a Patriots Titans game in 2009 during a surprise snowstorm.
Oh,
Why do I not remember that game? That wasn't all that long ago.
I don't remember that one either.
I don't know, 2009. I guess it wasn't, a little while. Isn't that crazy that this is where we're at? We're like, oh, 2009 was just a handful of years ago.
Yeah,
It really isn't.
it's 16 years
16
ago.
years ago. Stupid.
Oh, he got a first down.
Yeah. It was going to be too much. There should be a website that just gives me those kind of stats
Yeah.
on demand. Maybe that's what we need.
Oh,
to
that
do.
should have been a penalty too on golf. Oh no, that was
No,
the
that was
call
the first
half.
one. Yeah.
That put them up by 7. That should have kept the ball in the Lions' hand.
Oh, the important thing is he is back out there after a couple of plays with backup quarterback Teddy Bridgewater.
I mean, Teddy
Laporta,
Bridgewater looked good.
he did. He really did. I'm not going to talk any more shit about it. He turned out to be pretty okay. Well, I won't be tuning into that just because I can't do Rob Gronkowski as a show host, as a commentator, as an analyst, anything. Can't do it. All right, Montgomery again.
Good run.
Looks like he picked up 7, maybe 8.
We're facing a 3rd and 2.
So glad that he was able to return to turn to the line up here.
Yeah.
That, you know, when his injury first happened, there's a lot of speculation that he was not going to be able to come back for the rest of the season.
I know he had doctors telling him that he wouldn't be able to play for the rest of the season.
Mm, mm. There's a
Oh,
flag on
we
the
got a
play.
penalty. What's the penalty? Is it against the Lions? Face mask would be huge.
All right.
Huge. Lions.
All right. Detroit's going to get an automatic first down with a big face mask called against the Commanders.
And it wasn't even a face mask.
No.
But they got to make up one for missing that call on that last thing. So
Right.
give us one.
Well, I mean, listen, I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to talk shit about that. Oh, no, the refs are trying to help the Lions. Fuck off. Because how many times have we sat here, not just this season, but any season that we watched the Lions play, and how many bogus or controversial calls were done against the Lions?
Oh,
And, you know, evidence goes back and says, no, that was wrong. That was wrong. And it still happened
yeah.
anyway. So I don't like. I'm sick of listening to this shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's all predetermined, and they want the Lions to go to the Super Bowl. No, they don't.
No.
The NFL does not want the Lions to go to the Super Bowl. This is not who they want representing the NFC. Especially with more success that we get, we compared them to the Pistons bad boys teams of the late 80s going into the 90s. They're starting to get that kind of edge, that kind of reputation the further they move along here. Good or right or wrong, it doesn't even matter. That's the grit that Detroit as a city has, I feel like. Because if you're gonna, it was once incorporated with the basketball team, now it's the football team.
Yeah.
So it's not just the franchise, it's the entire city that these organizations and the commissioners and people like this are having an issue with because they don't want that as a representation.
Mr. Fucking Reliable right there.
I'm in
When
Ross
you
St.
need it.
Brown. Yep.
Yeah, no, they definitely get a reputation now because they play so rough.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we've talked about this before. They kind of remind me of the bad boys of back in the day, because they will punch you in the face. They have no issue with it, and that's why the Honolulu Blue Flu is a real thing this season. Most teams get the shit kicked out of them
Right.
by the end of facing the Lions.
Oh man, Goff was going down there. Tried to connect with Gibbs there, just a little bit low on that. Oh, that's cool. You gonna get your hair cut like that, Tim? You gonna dye? You know, you should dye your beard like a Honolulu blue. You know, if this winds up going where we'd like to see it go, wouldn't that be something?
Possibility, maybe. There's Gibbs. Wide fucking. He's. Oh,
Oh.
first down. That's all we need. Just keep getting chunk plays. Keep running it down the field.
The tenacity of that kid, took a hit,
Yeah.
was going down, spun out of it just to get to the first down marker, then let momentum carry him the rest of the way. But
Yeah.
96 rush yards for Jahmyr Gibbs.
Already.
Washington.
Oh, their little pitch play to Amon Ra. Come on, Amon Ra. Big play.
Inside the 10-yard
Another
marker.
first down.
Yep. Big play there.
Pulling a little
by
trick
St.
play
Brown.
right there. They start pulling the trick plays out in the second half.
I'll say we didn't see a trick play in the first half, and there just a little shuffle pass to St. Brown. Goff to Montgomery to St. Brown and right back into the red zone inside the 10-yard line. We called it at the start of this series here. They have to score on this
Yeah.
drive. Oh man, Gibbs goes down hard.
They read that one.
Yep. You know they're gonna beam that out, right?
Yeah.
All right, second and goal now. This looks like from the 8-yard line. Gibbs
There
on
it
the
is, Gibbs,
ground,
all the way in.
and he's
Boom!
in.
We're back in it.
Touchdown, Jameer Gibbs. Detroit Lions picks up
Now we need a
6.
fucking stop and run it back down. It's going to be a 3-point game.
And that brought that crowd back to life here in Ford Field.
Yep.
Keep chipping away, keep chipping away, keep chipping away.
You almost
Punch
felt
it
it
in.
as soon as he handed off to him right there. It was going in.
Yeah.
Like you knew he wasn't going to be stopped. Then you got the arguably one of the best kickers in the league right there this season, Jake Bates.
Yep. 31-28 Washington.
Who was selling bricks.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
6:57 left in the third quarter, and Detroit's trying to shift that momentum. That's the other thing. You got to get the crowd back into this thing.
Yeah.
You get the decibel levels up to where it is capable of. It makes it very difficult for Washington to be able to communicate with one another. If they're not on the same page, Detroit is going to exploit that. So this game is going to wind up becoming one of the better games of the weekend. Like I'll be honest with you, I was confident that Washington was going to put up a fight, but I didn't think they were going to put up this kind of fight.
Yeah.
And now I'm over here like, man, this motherfucker could become the game of the weekend if it keeps going this way. Then you think about the last time these two met in the playoffs, the 1992 NFC Championship game, and what a dominant performance it was for the Redskins at that time. Just knocking the shit out of the Lions. And we had a lot of anticipation because we had crushed the Cowboys in the divisional round to get to that point.
It's definitely a game.
Yeah. So checking in on our stats or on our chat here to see, make sure I wasn't missing anything. And again, we are going to be live from Lightning Rounds in Lapeer next Sunday afternoon for the NFC Championship game. Tim and I are going to go live at 2:30. The NFC title game starts at 3 o'clock per the NFL, which made me happy. I don't mind telling you because
it makes me happy
I
too.
was worried that the NFC game was going to be the late game, then I would have had to take a night off from work. But this way, I can still do what I want to do, have enough time to recover, then go to work.
Yeah, that's me too because I got to work Monday morning. It's all right because they missed the call against Jared Goff that would have kept the ball in our hands.
That didn't matter. They're not going to
It
acknowledge that.
offsets. That gave them a score, so it evens it up. So I don't want to hear no shit on Facebook about that.
You know they are. You know it doesn't. Because of course they're going to.
We need another stop right here, or a takeaway. Takeaway would be huge.
Mhm.
It's like it just you just need some time. You just need this defense to step up and just Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch. Let's do your magic right here.
You know, the other thing is, this is the first time people are seeing, not the first time, but the first couple of times that they've seen Washington on a national platform. You know,
Yeah.
people have heard the name Jaden Daniels, but whoa!
Get him. All right. 1 yard.
But you know, with last week's game against Tampa Bay, and now here with the Detroit Lions, especially here with the Lions, because the Lions have become must see TV. For the NFL, it seems like they flexed a couple of their games to prime time, especially the Minnesota game. So to put them on a level like this, you know, this is prime time on Fox, and people are seeing this kid for the first time, and he's putting on a display that lets people know Washington is for real as he picks up a first down there. You got to
Yeah, you got to
contain him
watch him.
though. Yeah, can't let him escape the pocket like that. Looking forward to getting back to lightning rounds though. That last one we did for the Monday night game was a good time.
Yeah, I had a blast. I really enjoy lightning rounds. Their food is good. The environment's good. It's an all around good place.
Management's cool too.
Yeah.
You know, they've been very accommodating. You know, my correspondence with them to get everything set up and finalized, and then when we get there, it's like, you know, very accommodating. And you like working with people like that. They're
Yeah.
excited about having us there as we are about being there, and that makes for a win-win. What the hell is going on right now?
I don't know. Maybe he's hot.
I don't know if I've ever seen that. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody have the long part of their pants cut off. Maybe it was a heat thing. He was feeling overheated.
Well, he's not on the field right now. I don't like the fact that Branch isn't on the field.
No, I thought there was some sort of lower leg injury that they were checking out. The next thing you know, they're cutting away his bottom part of his pants.
We got one safety back. We're
Oh
anticipating the
man,
run play.
Daniels just went down.
Yeah. That's probably a flag. Roughing the passer.
Bro, I mean,
But
I
I'm
was
not.
watching that part of the screen. Oh,
Yeah, he deserved it. But
yeah.
I'm not mad at it. Sometimes you got to knock these fuckers in their place to slow them down a little bit. Give them the 15 yards and kind of knock the shit out of them a little bit and slow them down.
I'll look at him. This motherfucker.
That's what they got to do. They got to
No,
knock
you're
these
right.
quarterbacks around. You give them a few yardage, but you knock the shit out of them. Make them see a few stars.
No, I will. I will. I understand the logic behind that. It was a hell of a hit, though. I mean, I was
Yeah.
watching. I was, for whatever reason, that's what I was looking at. Crowd is starting to get back into this thing.
Yep.
He goes goods to the outside there. 5:06 left to play in the third. Oh, it was helmet to helmet. See, the faraway shot, I didn't see the helmet to helmet. Oh, he got a little boo boo.
That was last week.
Well, was that?
Yeah. He's a resilient player. I mean, I give all the credit to him in the world. Like he's going to be a really good player in the NFL. I just don't want him to do good in this game.
Right.
Good stuff.
Mm.
Good stuff there. But
Washington thinks they made it to the first down. I'm not. I'm
no.
not so sure. When you look at that stat, it's been pretty even ball control wise.
I don't even know if he made that one.
Yeah, it looks like Washington's going to pick up a first down with 4 minutes left in the third.
He's holding his composure well. I got to give him credit. Being big game atmosphere.
Daniels, you're talking about?
Yeah.
That's the one thing I really take notice when they're dealing with rookie quarterbacks in high pressure situations like that. How is their composure? Because that's going to be
Yeah.
able to tell what kind of career they're going to wind up having in the NFL. Not to say that they don't have nerves on the inside, but can they contain that? Can they rechannel that energy in a productive and a positive way for their team? Patrick Mahomes is a perfect example of that. You know, this kid comes in and he had signed with the fucking Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was supposed to be a baseball player. Then he comes in and now he is arguably the face of the National Football League at this point. What?
He missed the tackle.
It's going to bring up third down now. 31-28, Washington with a lead here.
They're gonna have to snap it before the 2 minute. Or no, there's no 2 minute warning. It's the third. We need to stop here though.
Yeah.
Let's give up a field goal. Give us a chance to get back into this.
Stop or a take. I mean, a takeaway would be sweet.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be mad.
Takeaway would be ideal.
Yeah. I don't want to overblow it out of proportion, Oh,
There's
man.
a boom. He was down, bro.
Yeah, where the fuck is he going? I mean, you got tackled.
No, hold on. He's putting the ball up there.
What the hell happened?
He was fucking down right there.
He's down.
Yeah, he's
The
down
elbow
100%.
hit, the knee hit.
The one ref out there lost his fucking mind and was like, "Oh no, the ball's down right here."
What? Okay. They're gonna take a timeout to look at this and look at Branch.
Sometimes I wonder if these guys go down like that just to slow the game down.
I wondered that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We used to say back, well, when anybody got injured and when they
Yeah.
showed the replay, you're like, if you're supposed to be this big badass football player, how is it that you're injured on something like that? And then we would say, he just wanted to go home early that day. It wasn't a legitimate injury, but now in this day, you're like, I wonder if they do that specifically to slow the tempo down.
Well, especially on a play like that, because he knows he got the guy down, and if he doesn't slow the gameplay down, they don't have time to look at it again.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, is he really out of the game? I doubt it.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's gonna have to be out for a play, but since they went to a timeout, he won't even have to be out for a play.
A lot more strategy with
Yeah.
sports than people give it credit for. Especially with something like this. Like, man, that if that was the thought process to completely shut down the tempo of the game.
Well, that would
Brilliant.
leave him at 4th and 3, 4th and 4. Probably kick a field goal there instead of going for it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Dan Quinn goes, we need to go for it. But they're going to be short there. Branch made a hell of a tackle.
Really did. I'm so confused though about the whole cut in the pants thing. What? And I started thinking about that the other day. Like, why don't they wear shorter pants anymore?
Sometimes they do.
Do they?
Yeah, like I don't know why they're not wearing them today. Like it's got to be hotter than shit in there right
That's
now.
what I was thinking, especially for indoor venues. And I was like, man,
Yeah.
I haven't seen the shorter pants in a minute. Uh, I mean, I clearly haven't been paying that close attention to it, but then when I started thinking about it, I started looking at the Commanders, and they're not wearing them either.
Looks like they're leaving their offense on the field.
Sure does. 4th and 2.
This would be a huge moment for the Lions. They can get the stop right here and stop them from even putting a field goal on the board.
Oh man, they are at the 14-yard line. Daniels,
Nope.
man,
Daniel's going to take it
yeah,
himself and
he
get it.
is.
God damn it. Sorry.
There's a big first down there for Washington. Daniels takes it on his own, runs to the outside there.
The defense is not holding up right now. Like this is not where we need to be, and they need to.
Washington has had 2 touchdowns on 2 drives of the red zone.
They read that one, but they got more yardage than I would have liked them to get out of it.
Yeah. Looks like he picked up 7. Do you think that extra week of layoff has played a hand in this, Tim?
I don't think so, to be honest. I just think that they're having trouble. They're worried about Daniels in the moments that they shouldn't be worried about Daniels, and then they're not worried about Daniels in the moments that they should be worried about him. The Washington's playing a really good gameplay.
I'm going to come up short again on the handoff attempt.
If we could stop them here, make them kick a field goal, but it's 3rd and 2 again. Like we'd have to sack Daniels because they're playing aggressive like Dan Campbell would. They're going for it on 4th downs.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're playing to win it.
Just checking over here on the YouTube feed. Doesn't seem to be chat room is pretty quiet over there on YouTube. Which, that comes to be expected because the majority of our fans tune in to the Facebook feed, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Been kind of all over the place this week. I was on ONTV last night for the Fatal 4-Way. We're doing this here tonight. And then next week, the NFC Championship game. Live from Lightning Rounds. Very much looking forward to that. We're going to be talking about that all week here across the PFC network.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Slowly getting my shit back in line for this year. What's happening? Didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
And if you are wanting to be a part of the show, you want to be a part of the conversation, you can correspond with us through the chat, or if you are interested in actually being on the show, let us know. I'll send you the link on how to get on the call, and you can actually be a correspondent on the show here, which is going to lead me to this. I brought the graphic up earlier, but we'll go ahead and make mention of it right now while they are on the timeout. Maybe. There it is. Okay. We are still looking for NBA and NHL correspondents to join the ranks of the Sports Real podcast here on the PFC network. If you are a diehard fan of professional basketball or hockey, and you want to be a regular part of the show and help us navigate through those segments, we would love to hear from you. You can send us a direct message to the Sports Real Podcast Facebook page or pfcnetwork.net, and we'll see what we can make happen. Because we are going to, hockey season, basketball season's going on, very active right now, and we're going to be spending a lot of time once the NFL season winds down. We have made mention of that. Plus, I like getting other people's points of view.
Yeah, it's always exciting to have somebody else on the show with us. Good. That one right to the line of scrimmage.
Lost yards on that one.
I don't know. I think he might get forward momentum on that one, right back to the line of scrimmage.
Oh yeah, okay. 4th and 2.
And they're going for it. We need a huge stop right here. Biggest. This is the season right here. I hate to say that, but if we can get a stop right here, that's going to be a huge momentum swing for this game. Or yes, that crowd noise coming into effect right there. Delay a game. Fuck, that was against us.
I wasn't sure what the hell was happening right there. I thought it was a delay of game.
They called 12 players on defense. Fuck. It's going to give him an automatic first down.
Damn.
God, we're just making mistakes left and right in that game. That's a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just eating time off the clock.
2nd and goal now. And he is just literally a half a yard short on that.
Yep. At this point, just let them fucking score. I always wonder why they do this in this thing. Like, you need to save time. You need all the time in the world because you're going to go down by 10 again right here. There it is. You're down by 10. Okay, so boom. 13-29. You're going to go down by 10. You need to come back and score, and then you need to fucking stop on defense finally.
13:29 left in the 4th quarter. 37-28 right now. The Commanders with a lead here, looking to add on to it. Detroit.
Damn it, I'm not Sorry.
What
I'm
the
getting
hell did
flustered.
that say?
What happened?
Jaguars finalize interview with the perfect coach for Trevor Lawrence.
But they didn't say who it was?
I don't know. I got to look. Which brings me to this. I read something today. I was looking to see if they had an actual name. Bill Belichick has not signed his contract with the University of North Carolina yet.
Well, he might be going to the NFL.
I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
He signed what would be the equivalent of a letter of intent, but in terms of the actual contract, hasn't signed it yet.
Yeah, which means that there's still a chance that he might have did that just to boost up some interest to getting to the NFL.
Kellen Moore. I thought they were going to actually give me some actual news that was beneficial, but this is hypotheticals and what could be's.
Gotcha. If they were saying they were ready to sign somebody, then I'd imagine that'd be somebody that's still in the postseason right now. That makes you wonder if it's an Aaron Glenn or an Ben Johnson.
Right. Right.
But Both those guys need to get their shit together right now. Ben Johnson's been doing a great job in this game. The offense have been, besides 3 turnovers, the offense has been clicking pretty well. The defense has been struggling. We cannot slow down this team.
You know what? It's crazy to me too because I was very confident. They're going to come out of the second half. I mean, make no mistake. There's still some time left here. We're not,
Yeah.
in full blown panic mode, and we're not throwing shit. Um, but man, Washington is just like they're demonstrating the fire that I did not anticipate.
Yeah. They're
They
definitely
just
fighting to stay on it.
yeah, they're not being intimidated, and I think that's the biggest thing for me. They are not being intimidated. They are not being bullied. Um, they've stuck it out. They've been in there, and now here we are. They're goddamn 10 points up now. Oh goody, Roger Goodell is
That's
in
why they're
Detroit.
fucking down right now. That douchebag.
Not a fan. All right, they're gonna bring this out here.
Should have just nailed it.
Yep, we were just talking about this season, that season in particular. They defeated, man, 12 head coaches since that time,
Yeah.
36 starting quarterbacks since between now and when the Commanders were last in the Super Bowl. That was the 91-92 season, beating the Lions in the NFC Championship game. They went on to win the Super Bowl that year. Last time, though, 1992.
But here's the one thing you got to look at too right now is Lions don't have a lot of time to waste. They need to get out and score this, and then
Mhm.
get the ball back and score again. Like the you can't milk a bunch of time off this clock. You got to move fast.
All right.
Tim Patrick.
There's a big reception there for Mr. Patrick. $12:20 left to play in the fourth quarter here. Oh, there's a trick play. Williams.
Intercepted.
Oh
Are
my
you
God.
fucking kidding me? There's a flag. That's
Another takeaway. Wow. I believe I heard that was the fourth takeaway or fourth turnover in this game for Washington against the Lions. And I'm not sure what the fuck is happening right now.
no, I don't know. They're falling apart. I mean, I'm a little upset right now, but I still have to look forward to the fact that I got the Chiefs going to the AFC Championship game, and this is why I became a Chiefs fan.
I hear you. I went back and listened to this week's episode that dropped on Wednesday, and we got into that conversation about secondary teams and other teams that we put our fanfare for, and you said it perfectly, because the Lions were what the Lions were at that for a long time. He wanted another team to root for at this stage of the season. Well, now the Lions are here in the divisional round. There's still time to play, and we're not throwing shit yet. But this is why people, especially in this area, clamor or they latch on to a secondary team for this very reason.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, man.
That way, when it comes to Super Bowl time, I still got a team in it.
Eric Cherry's not happy, as you can see on the graphic here. I am happy that Eric Cherry tuned in, though. He's been pretty consistent in terms of tuning in and chiming in. Always appreciate hearing his point of view. But God bless America. Uh, yeah, Eric, we're going to be at Lightning Rounds next Sunday. You should come out
For the NFC Championship.
for the
game.
NFC Championship. Yeah, doesn't matter who's there. We're going to be there for the NFC Championship game, Final Four of the NFL season. So clearly, we would like to see it go one way, but holy mackerel, if shit don't turn around like now.
Yeah, we need a takeaway like right now. If the Lions want to stay in this game, they have to get a takeaway. Because that was a drive they needed to score on to stay in this game. I give all the credit to Commanders. They've been playing one hell of a game.
They have been.
And they just let a huge play upfield. Fuck.
I can't believe this, man.
They're
I really cannot believe this is wow. This is Washington maintains a 10-point lead here with 11 and a half minutes left in the fourth quarter. Jaden Daniels is 19 for 27 with 257 yards and 2 touchdowns so far tonight. It's going to hand it off here. They're going
to start rolling on the clock.
Yep.
Just trying to take time off. Chances are the Lions haven't been able to stop them at all. They're probably going to score on this drive and go up by 17. I see a flag on the field. What was the flag?
Apparently nothing.
Apparently just pick it up.
Man, oh man, giving him all the time in the world. And he's going to pick up the first down. The defense is just
they're falling apart.
They really are. Now you're starting to see, well, as we're coming up to the 10-minute mark, now you're starting to see like that shot right there.
Yeah.
A lot of emotion on a lot of people's faces, and you're starting to see the energy.
That should be a flag. Flag.
No, they did not. It's going to be 1st and 15. 5-yard penalty for delay of game.
We need a takeaway right now.
Something. They need something to just spark this. Spark the crowd. Spark the secondary. Get this shit rolling. Because I refuse to believe this is how this is going to play out. hands it off again, and Tom Brady actually makes a good point there. How many of these injuries are starting to come back and bite them in the ass?
Yeah.
A lot of worry in on those fans' faces, my friend. Yours included, I don't mind saying.
It's just you're starting to get the feel of like a
Disappointment.
possibly disappointing
Yeah.
season leading up to this. I mean, I still not too much worry because I still have a team in it. Because I root on the Chiefs just as much as I root on the Lions. But like I was really hoping for a Lions Chiefs Super Bowl this year, and they need something really big to turn this around to make that happen.
Yeah, because the current course of action they've got going has not worked all night long.
No, they need a huge stop right here. They need a takeaway.
Oh, okay. It,
4th and 2. Are they going to actually kick it, field goal, and go up by 11? No, he's going to leave the defense on the field or the offense on the field. They're pulling a Dan Campbell out right here.
yeah.
And they got it.
Shit, they almost
Yeah.
knocked him right into the end zone.
They're about to go by 17.
It is 1st and goal now.
What the fuck is Detroit doing?
I don't know. I know I should be sitting here and like there's a part of my brain that's like, dude, you've got dead air going on. You got to say something. And on the other hand, the other side of my brain is like, I can't believe what the fuck I'm watching.
Yeah, just at this point, just let them fucking score. That's the score. Just let them score so you got time left on the clock to come back in this.
I will say this. I am so glad I'm not watching this game with my father. Because I can just imagine the boisterousness of the obscenities that are
Yeah.
coming. Oh my God, that's an ugly score. 44
Yeah.
to 28. I can't believe what the fuck I'm looking at right now. 7:31 left to play in the 4th.
I mean, this is about to be a 3-score game with 7:31 left.
They've got to do something here. They've got to turn us around right now. Right this second. And they are going to go, it is now 45 to 28.
Yep. I mean, you can see it in Dan Campbell's face right there, like shit. Like you wonder, did they not plan for this game very well? Like maybe you're right. Maybe that week off fucked them.
Could have been. We talked about it. Momentum is such a serious thing. You have to take a pause or something like that. Sometimes it is difficult for teams to get back on that train
Yeah.
and pick that momentum back up. Meanwhile, Washington's been playing their best football for the last 4 weeks, nonstop.
I need to step away for a
No,
second.
I understand. You
I'll
go
be right
do.
back.
Yep, absolutely. You go do that, and while you are doing that, we will let people know about some of the other things that we got going on over at the online store of the PFC Entertainment Network. Have you checked out the new online store from the PFC Entertainment Network? If you haven't, you're missing out on all the latest and greatest merchandise featuring the logos and the designs of all your favorite shows under the PFC umbrella. Whether you're looking for t-shirts, hoodies, hats, glassware, AirPods, and a whole new summer lineup with beach towels, flip-flops, and everything that you need for a day at the beach. So check out the new online store of the PFC network. Just go to pfcstore.printify.me, the official online store of the PFC Entertainment Network.
You hear them every Sunday on the PFC network. Now, you can support Jill and Jenny with the brand new store dedicated to Creepy Soup. From a variety of t-shirts, hoodies, and hats to coffee mugs, towels, and backpacks, there's so many ways to show off your fandom for Creepy Soup. Head over to PFC Creepy Soup at printify.me for all things Creepy Soup as part of the PFC Entertainment Network.
And we do want to make mention one more time, the next time the guys over on Fatal 4-Way will be live on the air will be on January the 31st, a week from this coming Friday. It will be the big Royal Rumble preview show. And if you are a wrestling fan, you know how big of an event the Royal Rumble is. And we will be breaking all of that down a week from Friday. It will be on the 31st of January, the night before the big pay per view or premium live event, as it were. Uh, we're back here in Tim's home studio here in lovely Lapeer, Michigan, and he has yet to return, but we are still looking at this game with 7:30 left to play in the fourth quarter. The Detroit Lions have found themselves in quite the predicament, quite the deficit here, trailing 45-28, and I really have no idea what's happening. We've seen kind of I don't want to say a collapse, um, but the defense just has not found a way to shut down Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders and Jared Goff. Now, I don't know if that shot to the head earlier in the game, if that has he throws it there, gets it to Gibbs. Gibbs picks up the first down, crosses the 40. Um, so I don't know if that hit to the head had something to do with it. Um, but he has clearly not been nearly as sharp as we have seen him. Two interceptions today, including a pick six. Picks up another first down there with Jamison Williams. No, I'm sorry, Raymond there. They're slowly, they're trying to march down the field, but this is where time is starting to become an issue. Um, you got to find a way to get the ball down the field as efficiently, as quickly as possible. But man, you gotta tighten this shit up and not make the stupid mistakes. Because, look, I'll be straight up with you. I was very confident that we were going to see the Lions in the NFC Championship game next week. I Goff now and again, and St. Brown now pulls it in. That's going to be a first down. Goes to the outside. Clock is still rolling. But like they got to do something like right this fucking minute. Like I know we keep saying that, but like that window of opportunity is not going to be open very much longer here. Missed throw there by Goff targeting St. Brown. The turnovers, the stupid mistakes made here today has really been the difference maker. And I mean, take nothing away from Washington. They came into this game calm, cool, collected, confident. Um, and that's what's been on total display here. All right, St. Brown's going to pick up another first down. 5 minutes, 45 seconds left to play in the fourth. And I think somebody just took a timeout. Yes, sir. Tim Sheridan is returning back to his broadcast position here. 5:44 left to play. Washington up 45-28. Goff went for Gibbs there.
Sorry, I had to go deal with some stuff. Maybe 13-year-old who's starting to realize what it's like to be a Lions fan.
Oh. How'd that work out for you?
Well, he's pretty upset right now.
I can understand. Bless his heart. Gibbs there gets
Get out of bounds. Stop the clock.
it's going to bring up the fourth down here.
Why is the clock running? He went out of bounds.
I was just wondering that too. And why is everybody taking their sweet ass time is what I'm not understanding.
I don't know either.
Jake Bates is coming in now for a 28-yard attempt. Longest one of the year was 58. This one's up and in. It's going to close the gap a little bit. 45-31 now. 5:01 left to play. The season's on the line here in this drive. Would you? I mean, they've got to get the ball back with minimal damage, minimal effect on the time clock. They need to preserve as much time as they can. Shut this shit down right now.
You know, this is the shit that we should be used to this by now.
We should be, man, but we're not used to it being on this level.
Yeah.
That's the problem. We were I say we like we're part of the fucking team. The Lions were the #1 seed for the National Football Conference for the first time ever. They were back-to-back NFC North champions for the first time ever. All this hype, all this hope, all this anticipation going into the playoffs. We were confident that the Lions were going to have a considerable challenge from the Washington Commanders, but nothing what we've seen here tonight. Did they take them too lightly? Did the extra week off play a factor in this? Is Goff seeing the shit straight after that shot to the head earlier in the game? There's going to be a number of questions that come away from this if they don't find a way to win this game. Is it possible? Yes. Is it probable? That door of opportunity is closing fucking rapidly.
I mean, they're down with 14 with 5 minutes to go, and they have to get the ball back. It's there's always hope out there, but it's dwindling very quickly.
Yeah,
you knock another 2 minutes off this clock, it's disappearing. It's one of those things. Did the defensive injuries finally catch up to them? You know, they've been doing so well without it, but is it at that point now where it's finally caught them? And it might very well be in this game that it caught them.
May very well have been. You know, we heard Tom Brady make mention of that a little bit ago. He said the exact same thing. You know, is the injury thing? Is that what's happening here? Everything is catching back up. They're biting them in the ass in the worst moment. Now, let me ask you this: would you rather have it happen in this game? Would you rather have it happen in the NFC Championship? They're going for an onside kick. Detroit. Oh, I thought Detroit had it.
They might have it.
Washington,
Oh, they got it.
a lot of referees there. Looks like Ertz may have come up with it. I can't tell. A lot of referees were there signaling for Washington.
Yeah, Ertz got it. I mean, that you have to do anything you could do to try to get it, but unfortunately, that leaves them in good field position and probably take this game even fucking farther out of their
Right.
grasp.
The way they've been playing here.
Yeah, but this is why I am a Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Oh man. So unfortunate. Again, it's not
Well, we were hoping that this game would they'd at least get past this one, and the NFC Championship game would be huge. But 14 down, these guys are going to melt 3 minutes off this clock. It's out of reach, and I mean, don't give up hope, guys. That's all I got to say. Is like us as Lions fans, we've had a lot of defensive injuries this season. Shit happens. You know, we're still all these players are going to be here next year. There's not too many players we're going to lose.
right.
They're only going to get better next year. And you're going to have a lot of players back. We're probably going to lose our coordinators, but who knows? Maybe that'll be a good thing. Who knows? You have no idea. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that like maybe this year wasn't our year. Maybe it wasn't the Lions' years. Maybe next year is the Lions' year. Maybe who knows? This is a story we've been saying since we were fucking kids, though.
Wait till next year. I mean, it's
Yeah.
been the goddamn team motto, but I guess I got all wrapped up into what we were looking at. This is our year. I'm tired of
Yeah.
waiting for next year. This was our year. But I mean, you make some great points here. We're going to have Hutchinson back full time. You know, that's good. That's a key part of the defense that has been missing. Take nothing away from Smith and his attempts to fill that void. He's been tremendous. Hopefully, if he is on a 1 year deal, he does want to resign.
Yeah.
I hate at this point, I know there's 4 minutes left. I hate thinking about, well, let's talk about next season. You know, I don't want to be that guy like, oh, I'm just giving up. But reality is what reality is. You know, Washington took a timeout there. 3rd and 5, it looks like it's going to be. All right. So let's say Washington advances here. Who do you switch? Is there a team that you're switching to on the NFC that you would like to see emerge as the representative of that conference going into the Super Bowl?
I don't give a shit. Whoever it is, the Chiefs need to beat them.
Okay. Okay. Don't give a fuck if it's
It's
Philadelphia.
probably. I mean, I'm
Rams.
hoping the Rams win it, but it'll probably be another Chiefs Philly Super Bowl. And shit, that's holding like a motherfucker. Yeah, but that was holding like a motherfucker.
Right.
Like absolutely holding to the 10th. I don't even know how more blatant holding can be right there. I mean, that's ridiculous. The holding. The Lions actually, you look at a lot of these calls, they missed a lot of holding calls. They could have switched. They missed that big call in the first half. Like the refs have not been very nice to the Lions tonight.
No.
I mean, that's holding there blatantly, and that wasn't even the holding I was calling.
Right.
So there was 2 holds on that play.
Okay, NFL, we see you.
Yep.
We see what's going on. Intangibles. They're going to sit
I mean,
there. The intangibles is wearing the black, white jersey shirts. I mean, come on. I don't know, man. Like this is. I think I'm just stunned. I'm more stunned than anything. This is
Yeah, me
not
too.
what I thought I was going to be seeing tonight. The Kansas City game went the way I expected the Kansas City game to go. But this is something different. I and there are going to be people that are immediately, as we speak, are hopping off the bandwagon. Nope, that was their 15 minutes of fame, their flash in the pan. Hope you enjoyed it. It's not that this will be as good as the Detroit Lions will ever be. I refuse to believe that, and I don't even entertain that conversation if I'm being honest with you. Kind of goes hand in hand with what we were talking about earlier about fanfare and how people who interact with one another and you know the right way to be a fan, the wrong way to be a fan.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you're gonna. That's all you're gonna see on Facebook now is SOL.
Yeah,
Same old Lions, and it's not the same old Lions. They got beat up on defense this year, and they've made it a hell of a run with a bunch of backups on defense. Offense is, I mean, besides the turnovers, has done great this season. They made a good stop there. Now let's see what happens. Do they go for it, or they just? I mean, they'll probably kick the field goal. They're in field goal range.
it's going to bring us under 3 minutes now left to play in this, and 4th and 1. It looks like they are going to bring the kickers out, special teams out.
I mean, I keep hope right now, and I just texted my kid who's pretty upset about this game. But maybe this is the way that this is all meant to work out. Maybe the Chiefs are really meant to three-peat this year and make history. And as a Chiefs fan, we're good with that. Maybe the Lions years next year.
Yeah,
You know, that was always like beating me up on the inside, being a big Chiefs fan, going like they have a chance to make history this year and three-peat. First team ever to do it. Or the Lions have a chance to win it. And I was like, I'm so tossed up on which one I'd want to see more. Obviously the Lions, because deep down I'm a Lions fan.
right.
But you have a chance to rewrite history here and establish, which I truly believe Mahomes is the greatest quarterback to ever play the game, but really establish him as one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game by three-peating this year.
I just want to make sure I understand you clearly. Patrick Mahomes, you're saying, is the greatest quarterback to play the game?
In my mind, yeah.
I'll tell you what, he three-peats, and
He missed it.
he did miss that. 2:26 left.
If he three-peats it, it'll establish the losses he took to. I mean, it'll wipe away the losses he took to Brady in the playoffs in previous years. Because he's never beat Brady, but if he three-peats, he's done something Brady's never done.
Right. Wayne Fonts. Man, I was a big Wayne Fonts fan.
Were you?
Yeah,
He was a good coach.
he was. He was cool as fuck too. That score wasn't cool, 41-10. That's what we were
No.
alluding to earlier. The last time these two met in the playoffs, 41-10. Jesus, that's said Wayne. And down goes
That's
Goff.
not the way to do it. I'm gonna tell you.
Damn. That's
Come on,
gonna,
Amon-Ra, get behind the line of scrimmage.
it's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning here after this play. Goff fires it in. All right. It's going to be 3rd down coming into the 2-minute warning here. Completion to Sam Laporta. So now here they are talking about the possibility of the coordinators finding head coaching jobs elsewhere. That's obviously a conversation that we're going to have to look at going into the off season. Barring a miracle here, it looks like Washington is going to be traveling to they would play the winner of the Rams
Rams and
and
Philly.
Philadelphia, regardless.
Yep.
They would be on the road, right? I feel
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Which I'm assuming they're going to lose next week, Washington. But who the hell knows?
Yeah, I mean, we
I mean,
didn't
as a
expect
Chiefs
this.
fan, if they can get by whoever the winner of the Bills and the Ravens fan is, I'd like to see them against Washington because I think
Mhm.
the Chiefs would murder them, to be honest. I think that'd be the best matchup for the Chiefs in a Super Bowl.
Washington Commanders came into Detroit, Michigan tonight and punched the Detroit Lions right square in the mouth and kept punching and, until the Lions got into a point to where Gibbs picked up another one. Oh, man.
He's going to be maybe a foot short,
Yep.
but there's not a lot of time to waste, so they need to get back up to that line. They didn't mark that correctly at all.
I don't think they did.
They're going to recheck it.
Well, the Lions are out of timeouts here. Washington's down to one. They're doing a booth review of the previous play to probably look to check for placement of where to put the ball. God damn, Tim, you know, the likelihood of this becoming one of the greatest comebacks in NFL history, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to be heading this way. You know, I hate to be that, but I mean, we have to look at what we're looking at next week. You know, we're going to be at lightning rounds, fully confident that the Lions were going to be in the NFC
And we'll be
Championship game.
calling a different game.
We are. You know, it's going to be the Washington Commanders on one side of it, evidently, and then tomorrow we'll find out who their opponent is going to be.
Hopefully it's the Rams. At least we can root on Stafford.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be okay with that. But, you know, you go into the conversation, do you root for Stafford because he was here, or do you root for Washington to win the Super Bowl because at least you can say, hey, well, the team, you know, my team got beat by the eventual Super Bowl champions. I don't know if there's any.
I'm still gonna be rooting the Chiefs.
Fair. I'll ask that question to somebody else that doesn't have another dog in the hunt. Oh, god damn, dude, this is so deflating.
That's why it's so good to be a Chiefs fan, bro. Let's come over to the dark side.
I won't. I mean, I'll probably root for him, but I'm not buying swag. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be.
Get to rock my Mahomes jersey.
Oh,
They're knocking 10 seconds off.
yeah.
I don't know why they stopped the clock. Oh, because they stopped the clock.
Well, Washington fans are extremely happy right now. Be careful walking out of Detroit, man. Don't be a dick about it.
I'll be rooting for the Washington Redskins or Commanders, whatever the fuck you want to call them, to lose their asses next week because they pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
Goff's just going to take it himself, get it out of bounds, stop the clock.
Didn't have a whole lot to work with there, unfortunately. Man, 20 out of 32 for 280 yards.
I just go back to the refs in this game. I think the refs dropped the ball in a few cases in this game that really turned the tide of this game for the Redskins. Commanders. What the fuck they are?
Washington, yeah. The Washington football team.
Come on, get back to the line.
Yep. Do it.
Back to the line. We need to score with a minute left. Somehow or another, get a miraculous fucking onside kick.
Okay, he's going to spike it. It's going to stop the clock. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10. 1:13 left to play. You just got to gun it for the end zone here, right?
Yeah, you got to get in the end zone. Then you got to get the onside kick. You have no timeout, so you can't do anything besides an onside kick. There's not enough time to turn it over to the defense. It's a minute 13 left. Like you need a fucking miracle right now to stay in this game. Like an absolute miracle. It has to be an intervention or an intervention from God. Like God has to step into this and be like, the Lions are meant to stay here.
Man, oh man.
Williams needs to hurry the fuck up.
For real. Oh!
That's all right. That's all right. It stops the clock.
4th and 1 now.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sitting here looking at it. I think this game is over. You're 51 seconds left.
I know,
mean,
but I refuse to
yeah.
sit here and be like, they just don't.
There's always a wild chance in hell that they can win this game.
Crazier shit's happen.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I always go back to the 12-second game with Mahomes. But the problem is Mahomes doesn't have control of the ball right now.
Man, oh man. 41
He's going to
seconds
spike
left
the
to
ball.
play. And again, spiking it to stop the clock. That's going to bring up 2nd and 10 on the, what was it, the 18-yard line? Eric Cherry asks, so do we go back to rooting for Stafford again? If this shit don't turn around in some sort of hand with God moment.
I mean, I do have a Stafford Rams jersey.
Yes, you do. But still going with Kansas City, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm going for that three-peat.
Man, how the hell did he get out of there? Oh.
That's okay. I mean, he had a fucking, if he would have had that pass up a little bit, it would have walk-in touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
He's got good composure right now. I got to give him that. This might actually, when it comes to Aaron Glenn's chance of getting a head coaching job, this might actually shoot him in the ass, to be honest.
I agree with you on that.
We might end up with Aaron Glenn again next year.
All right. Stafford interception.
Pick. Game over. That's it. Son of a motherfucker. For the first time in 33 years, the fucking Washington Redskins do. Fuck this shit.
With 25 seconds left on the clock,
I give them credit.
the Washington Commanders have come into Detroit. They have found a way to shut down the Detroit Lions 45-31.
Didn't see this game going this way. I give them 100% credit. They played one hell of a game against the Lions. Our defense struggled. Our offense gave up 4 turnovers. To be honest with you, we didn't deserve to win this game.
No.
And
if you're an honest fan, you have to agree with that statement. They just were not good enough today.
No.
They just really weren't. First time since 1991, they're going to go back to the NFC Championship game. Snaps the longest drought in NFL history, NFC history. Unbelievable, brother. Unbelievable.
It happens. But we'll be at Lightning Rounds next weekend, watching whoever the winner is of this game and the next game to see. I don't know how many people are going to be there now that the Lions are in it, but we'll be there. I'll probably be wearing Kansas City gear.
For the NFC Championship game?
Well, because the AFC Championship game probably comes on right after that.
So it does. It's at 6:30.
Be rooting up for getting ready for Mahomes to wipe out whoever that is and go on to the Super Bowl again. to go on and win three-peat. Now I only have to root three-peat.
And if that doesn't happen, I don't want to be anywhere around here. I'll be
I'll be so fucking pissed. We have a whole Super Bowl party planned, and if the Chiefs don't make it there, we're canceling that shit. So whoever fucking
oh man. Well,
son of a bitch.
let us remind you that Tim and I will be live at Lightning Rounds in Lapeer next Sunday, January the 26th. We go on the air live at 2:30 p.m., half an hour before kickoff. You're going to be seeing the Washington Commanders. Now we wait to see who they're going to be playing against, either the Los Angeles Rams or the Philadelphia Eagles. Come on now, anyway. Check it. Come out, meet us, hang out with us. Let's talk some football. You can be a part of the show and see who is going to be stamping their ticket to the Super Bowl in New Orleans, Louisiana. So, any other parting words of wisdom? Anything else you'd like to say before we get out of here this week?
Well, honestly, I have we'll do another fireball shot for the Chiefs. So that's who we got left. All right, at least who I got left to root for.
Okay. Can
I don't know
get,
who the fuck you're rooting for.
I just say for a hell of a season?
Hell of a season for the Lions.
Lions, yeah.
Only going to get better next year.
Absolutely. Clinky.
Cheers to a good season.
Spicy.
All due respect to Dan Campbell. He's done an incredible job with this team. I think without the defensive injuries, it would have been a lot easier for us. They did a great job. They got outmatched. I mean, they got outplayed today. And it's okay. It really is. I don't want to hear any SOL bullshit, anything like that. They had an incredible season. I think next year, with the majority of players coming back, adding players, they're going to be an even more dangerous team next year, and they're going to be on the lookout next year. But for the rest of this season, I will be sticking with my Chiefs, praying for a three-peat. Let's make history. And that's what I'm rooting for. And I think that's an exciting thing. I think the Lions' time is to come. Super Bowl is in the near future. Thought it was going to be this year. I was still up in arms because I thought it was going to be Chiefs Lions. And I was worried that I didn't know which way to fucking root. Now I know which way to root. I still have a team. No, they ain't gonna make it. It's gonna be the Chiefs. I'm telling you right now, it's destiny. The only reason the Lions didn't make it this year is because the Chiefs are meant to three-peat, and then the Lions can win. It's not gonna happen until the Chiefs three-peat.
Okay.
Mahomes gets to go down as the greatest quarterback ever.
And then Detroit can take over.
Then Detroit can take over.
Okay.
So we got it there. Yep. So next year's Detroit's year. This year, three-peat. Go Chiefs. And go Lions. Incredible season. All due respect for you guys. Sad to see you go down. I know my kid's upstairs, really upset, so I need to get up to him and make sure he's okay.
Yeah.
But
my dad's upset too.
Yeah. I mean, we should all be used to it by now.
Right.
This has been our whole fucking life. Just hoping for the Lions. One day it will fucking happen. Don't give up hope. Hopefully it happens in my lifetime. Pray to God it does. Pray to God it happens in your lifetime. Like it's gonna happen. But until then, Lightning Rounds next weekend.
January the 26th, 2:30 p.m. We will be live on the air here where you're watching this on the PFC network on Facebook, YouTube, and Riverside.fm. We appreciate you tuning in here this week. Stay tuned to our socials for all of the latest information. And until then, we'll see you next weekend live from Lightning Rounds in Lapeer for the NFC Championship game. For Tim Sheridan, I'm Jason Klaus. Go out, be awesome to yourselves and to each other. And we will see you later on here on the Sports Reel podcast on the PFC Entertainment Network.
Go Chiefs.
I understand. All right. For real, man. Real quick.
Motherfucker.
That is not what thought was going to happen.
I at least thought we'd make it to next week. I was worried about next week more than I was worried about this.
I'll be honest. Even though I said otherwise, I looked past this game. Like,
I think they did too. I fucking worried about the whole because of 91 in Washington knocking us out of it. That's what worried me, but I didn't want to say it.
right.
Didn't want to fucking say it.
I hear you.
Motherfucker.
I feel bad for Chase, man. This is probably his first real shot at.
Last year was. And then
Oh, yeah.
And this year, he was up there balling.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was up there trying to calm him down. But like, dude, we're still Chiefs fans. Chiefs are still in it.
Right.
And then I texted him while we were sitting there talking. I was like, maybe this may have meant to be. I was like, destiny. I was like, Chiefs are meant to 3 pieces. So the Lions. Jane Daniels, you're getting knocked out next week, and I fucking pray that happens. You don't deserve to go on.
Yeah, I'll laugh it up now or